Greetings, sentient beings. This broadcast is not intended for children. There will be strong language and adult themes. Hello, everybody.
Happy Whistleblower Day.
Yep. And I know we have done Whistleblower Day probably last year, but I think it's especially important since there are important line of defense for us in the current administrations.
Okay, that's enough of whistling, please.
But it's Whistleblower Day. Don't I get to celebrate?
Yeah, but if you blow a whistle, people wearing the headsets are going to be really annoyed.
I'm wearing a headset. It's not. I'm not annoyed.
Yep. In the side chat, I see Greg Hartwick.
Greggy!
So I think we're waiting for the audience to show up. Well, it says there's 5 people there.
Oh, like YouTube can count.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've run into that. I was one time having a conversation in the side chat with 2 other people, and YouTube said there was only 1 person watching.
Yeah,
You're talking to yourself.
I only use that to get the most viewers. So
Mm-hmm.
Because 1, it lags, and 2, I'm not sure how accurate it is, and 3, I don't always think it counts people who don't publicize their accounts.
Yeah, but at the same time, how many viewers you get is a big part of whether or not they're going to show your channel to anyone else.
And they're doing something new here, where if you don't engage with the video that you're watching, it's like subscribing, liking it, commenting, or something like that, they won't count the view.
Oh,
What? What a bunch of bullshit.
Actually, I tried testing this out a little bit. I was, I wasn't signed in. And I opened up one of my videos on another browser. It was, wouldn't look like me. Didn't count it.
Yeah, I'm not so. I think part of the view has to be there. You have to view it for a certain amount of time as well. I don't know.
I watched the whole thing.
I'm not referring to your saying bullshit that they do this. I say bullshit that they do this.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
YouTube is got their heads so far up their ass, we're almost worse than Paramount.
And it's hard to know since they won't release the details of how these algorithms work. Which
Yeah, it may just be sometimes it works that way and sometimes it doesn't too. It could also depend on the channel itself too.
Were you on the same IP address?
That might have been an issue too. Yeah, but like I said, I can only. There's apparently other people who have tested this out as well that they're running into that issue. So I heard about it from someone else, and then they tried testing it out with me, and someone else apparently had tested it out with their stuff too. But
so everybody has got to say at least one thing in chat. Is that the deal?
Yeah, it's probably either chatting or you're hitting the like button, subscribe. I think it works if you're subscribed or in your comment. So basically, any kind of interaction will count.
Okay, all you folks out in chat, it's up to you. If we die, it's your fault. So you got to get out there and chat your little brains out. Do you have to chat more than once?
Yep. Well, there's Commander.
Who knows? Knowing the way YouTube is, it could vary from channel to channel.
Yeah. Well,
chat, you're responsible for everything. That's what it means.
Right. Everyone tell Athena if she's going to bother me, she needs to be on camera.
Yep.
Cat, go away.
I have been told by a couple of people that even though they're subscribed to my channel, that it has stopped showing up when we go live.
Yeah, I've seen that happen.
Well, and I have found out that this is something that has been happening.
There is something you need to do to make sure you always get all the updates, and you have to get the all when you hit the subscribe button.
Yeah.
Well, even then, sometimes they'll actually shadow ban the whole thing.
Yeah, I've been hearing from a couple of other small trans creators that this has been happening to them too. So.
Yeah, I've seen. Go ahead, Jenny.
No, go on.
Oh, okay. I've seen other channels where it wouldn't show up in my subscription. I actually had to go to the channel, we'll go to the live section, and then find the live stream if they were doing.
Yep. I've even had to do that a couple of times to find Godless Grannies when she was live streaming.
Yeah, I've done that with God's Learning before. Yeah.
I don't
So
remember.
yeah, it really pisses me off that channels I subscribe to are not showing up in my feed. You know, it's like, doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose of subscribing to channels?
YouTube wants to like
You're
do the thing that it thinks you're interested in, which is why I've gone through the trouble to make sure it goes to the all when I hit subscribe.
Yeah,
If I
Jenny,
Well, it wasn't even
Wait.
showing up in my all.
let Jenny talk. She's
go
got
ahead,
that
Jenny.
later.
no. I'm fine. I'm just perfectly comfortable being the third string out here listening. That's no problem.
Great, you're gonna be like this today.
Oh, does Jenny have an attitude?
Jenny has a delay, so you know it's not that people are trying to talk over you. It's just that it's sounding like you're starting a bit later. Oh, we got another helicopter coming in.
Yay!
Is it
Well,
black?
that's generally not a good sign here because it generally means they're landing at the hospital.
Hmm.
Usually airlifting people from here to Mayo Clinic.
Well, it's okay for you. You just have to have a little noise.
Yeah, it's okay for me, but you know, it means that there's somebody at the hospital who they didn't think could survive a 2-hour drive.
That's why. Well, that's why they call it in the early days of medical copters. They called them the Death Star, because if you were going by helicopter, you were that close to death.
I had not heard him called that, but yeah, it makes sense. Oh,
So, anyways, about YouTube, you know, if we had a whistleblower, maybe somebody could warn us of these things in advance.
Or maybe if they just open source these algorithms and let people monkey with them, and rather than keep them a closed secret, that'd be good too.
well,
Really, I think I'm fine with those algorithms not being open source, but really the content selection algorithms need to be open sourced.
You know, they claim they keep it hidden so people can't game the system.
Yeah, I mean, if they want to say it's a trade secret, that's fine. That's not really a societal issue, but the content selection, radicalizing people is a societal issue, and we need to find ways to fix that.
yeah. But yeah, I think the point is that, you know, if they made all the criteria openly available, that the people who are trying to radicalize people, you know, would be able to game it to get more views.
Well, but if you had people like fixing it so they couldn't do that, because open source means people can modify it, and there's a lot of people overseeing it, like when they try to make changes like that will change it back. And usually for most open source projects, there's something, if they're large enough, where they'll have like a board that approves changes. For a project like, I don't know, like Debian or LibreOffice.
Okay, I was never quite clear on how open source stuff really worked for getting its updates.
Well, here's a little ditty that I just got from Jasmine Crockett. You know, she's representative in out of Texas, and she writes, Republicans in Texas have just rolled out. We knew this was coming. They've been working on this for a week or so. Have just rolled out their proposed congressional map that cuts 5 Democratic seats out of thin air. To be clear, these maps are not about representation. It's about a power grab to silence voters and suppress votes. They know their policies are unpopular, and they are afraid of losing. So what do? Cheat. If your big idea is cheat harder, maybe it's time to rethink your politics.
Yeah.
This has been in the news for a while, actually, and I saw both California and New York are proposing their own redistricting plans.
Well,
I hadn't
redistricting
heard.
is a game that both sides play.
Yeah.
It's gerrymandering. So I'm limited to what I complain about it, but I think the Democrats should stop doing it if they ever get the opportunity to be in that position.
Yeah, well, I had heard that in Texas that they were going to be able to redistrict in a way that they were actually going to create additional seats
In where? I'm sorry,
in
California?
Texas.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, and they're all going to be Republican seats.
Yeah.
Which led to California doing its own response, and now New York has done it.
Yeah, and it's like the greatest example of it is the Supreme Court said is perfectly okay to do. Is the fact that in Wisconsin they get a sizable larger percentage of Democratic votes, but they never win any seats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gee, how does that work?
Well, and I heard somebody covering it and saying that in Texas it's kind of a risky gamble for them because the margins had been narrowing a lot for the Republicans. So if something could, happen to really get a higher turnout, that they could stand to lose some of them.
Well, Texas is a hard. Much of Texas is a highly racist state, so
Yeah.
I don't expect any changes to be happening too soon.
Well, what happens in Texas is largely what happens across the country, that the larger cities generally go to Democrats and the rural counties generally go to Republicans.
With rare exceptions.
Uh,
Like a lot of swing states, like in Pennsylvania, will have especially in the coal regions, will be blue-collar Democrats.
The problem with our party, in quotation marks, is that the Republicans come in and they just kick ass and shred and destroy and impugn and just do all these horrible, ugly things, that we see every day happening and nobody says anything. And then we have our Democratic Party that if they get in, they bring in a little glue and try to put it back together. What they need to be doing is to destroy the mechanisms that are created in their absence, which are the problem for the whole system ever since Reagan. They never, ever took the opportunity to end the Social Security tax that Reagan imposed. And here it is 50 years later, and they still haven't done anything about it.
Yep, they never bothered to codify Roe versus Wade into law.
Probably because they don't want to. They just want to use it as a carrot.
That's why we need to kick their ass and get the old fucks out of office.
Yeah. Well, the other problem the Democrats have is that basically all they've been doing is saying that we're not as bad as the other guys without ever saying, that they're going to push policies that will actually help people.
And there's a lot of stuff they're going to have to undo if they do get in power, like they need to fund ICE.
Like every executive order Trump has ever signed.
Well, but with what the Supreme Court passed, if we get a Democratic president, the Supreme Court said it would be okay for him to imprison or assassinate his political opponents. So, we get a Democrat into the presidency, he can start rounding up the Republicans and putting them in jail. And
yeah, except with that law the way it is, we won't, because Trump can do anything he wants. You got to keep remembering that we're not on American politics anymore. We're in dictatorial politics, and he gets to do anything he wants.
Well, hello, Unfinished Journey.
Howdy, howdy.
How's it going for you today?
Going well. How's my mic sounding, by the way?
Sounds great.
You sound good. Yep.
Who is this turkey? What?
I'm not a turkey. I'm a journey.
I take it you survived the nasty weather that came through the last day or so.
Yep. Had a a decent sized branch landed in my front yard, and yeah, I got that taken care of yesterday.
My friend and I took a tour of our little town and found that every block in the town had damage. We had like 3-4 homes that were damaged from falling trees, and at least 20 or 30 trees, gigantic, huge 3-foot, 4-foot, 5-foot diameter trees that were gone. The 100-year-old trees and stuff gone.
Wow.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
I saw that message.
Yeah, you can't go and rebuild those.
Fortunately, we're thick with trees, so it doesn't appear to create a scar, but it does. It was there.
Yeah, well, when it's a tree that's been growing for many decades.
We had a neat thing. This happened before I moved here, but apparently they had a couple trees in the city park, which is small 1, 2, 3, 4 square block area. It's small town blocks, and they didn't uproot, but they broke off, and so a local artist carved them into various owl figurines. It's kind of nice. So they never really left us.
Yeah, I remember. When I lived in St. Paul in Como Park, there was a little space that I called the Circle of Pines because it literally was like 10 pine trees with a little clearing in the middle of them. And they had to be all trees that were over 50 years old. And we had a storm come through at straight line winds, and it just knocked 2 of them over so that they were pulled up by the roots. That made me very sad because that was my space where I went to do my rituals most of the time.
Was that large enough to be classified as a derecho, or was it just like a large straight line windstorm?
Well, they only reported it as straight line winds, but I don't know what really qualifies for a derecho.
Usually derechos are declared to be derechos after the fact because of their criteria.
Yeah, like they were predicting a derecho and warning people to take proper course of action before it hits.
Yeah, we got pretty bad thunderstorm here, and actually, Monday night they dismissed my group early because they were concerned about everybody getting home before it hit. And I technically got home in regard to parking my vehicle in the lot, but then it was coming down so hard that just getting from my car to the building got pretty soaked.
We're still having a problem with the Canadian smoke. It's supposed to clear in the next 24 hours, but I've been trapped in the house for all that time. I can't go out in this.
Yeah, did you hear Trump berating the Canadian government for not controlling the smoke from their wildfires?
Oh my God!
Yeah,
did he really say that?
Yes, he did.
Yes.
Oh my God!
Is that really surprising?
Which I'm sure that the U.S. was ultra careful about keeping the smoke from the California wildfires from going into Canada.
Yeah.
I think that, well, I guess it could, but that heads west mostly first.
Yeah. Remember, this is the same guy who said they wouldn't have wildfires if they'd rake the forest.
Yeah, I heard about that one.
Well, Trump is an idiot.
Yeah.
Could you say that in capital letters, please? God almighty. It is so embarrassing to have him as president. It's just, and what he's done with the Oval Office, it's just total trailer trash.
No, it's
I
like
apologize to my trailer friends.
It's all the foreigners. It's like all the foreigners who keep saying, it's like, why did you elect Trump? It's like, I didn't vote for this guy. I'm sorry my fellow Americans are idiots.
Mm-hmm. Well, on that regard, I had heard the very popular bumper sticker these days for people to put on Teslas was a sticker that says, "I bought it before we knew Elon was an idiot."
Yeah.
Before Elon went crazy.
Yeah.
I've seen one in the wild that says anti-Elon Musk Tesla Club.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite is like, it was a Tesla where someone put that bumper sticker on. Someone basically community noted it. It's like the Cybertruck was made after Elon went crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
I saw that.
I was gonna say that with the Cybertruck, they should just use the ones that say the sticker is holding the vehicle together.
Actually, I've seen more Cybertrucks ever since like Trump came out and supported them around here lately, because they're expensive vehicles, they're not good trucks, and they're not attractive.
Yeah,
Their
I know
their
they did
sales
get
are-
a sales.
their sales are in the toilet. He's practically trying to give them away. Their sales are so bad.
Well, it does not help that every single Cybertruck got recalled.
when you make a car that's even worse than the Pinto.
Oh my gosh! I'm sorry. I've been ignoring the chat. Sandy is here. Hi, Sandy.
Yep.
Big hugs and kisses. Friendship kisses. Okay,
Yeah, Sandy was talking about losing the old growth trees to Helena. Yeah, it really pains me to see those old trees go down, especially since there's so few of them left.
I was going to say, the Appalachians don't really rely a lot on old growth, though, because lean didn't hit the West Coast, if I recall. Like, you won't have, like, thousands of years old trees. You'll have hundreds of year old trees, and they will grow back a little bit quicker than they would out west.
Yeah, but I mean, even trees that are like 50 years old are becoming pretty rare. That actually was something that held up a major highway project here in Minneapolis for I don't know how many years, was because the planned route for it went through a grove of 100-year-old oak trees. And mostly it started with the indigenous people making a big stink about it, and they got more and more support. Unfortunately, in the end, they lost, and they bulldozed them through anyway.
I think my oak tree is about 50 or 60 years old.
Yeah.
one of my biggest heartbreaks in life was back in '65. My father and I, him primarily, of course. I was just 11 years old. Planted a willow tree. At the time, the willow tree had a trunk maybe about 4 or 5 inches in diameter, and it grew because it was a damper area of the property. It grew like crazy. And you know how big willow trees can get, and it got full size. And I know that because I, from time to time, had business in the area, and I would drive through the old neighborhood just to see what it looks like these days.
Mm-hmm.
And so I knew it was, in fact, one of my customers ended up buying the house next door to where I lived. So I had a reason to be there. Anyway, the tree went down in a storm a number of years back, and it was just so heartbreaking. I happened to be going through and looking around the day after it happened, and it was like, wow, this tree that had grown up with me, that was kind of one of your life gauges if you plant a tree.
Mm-hmm.
And it was gone. It was, well, half of it was gone. It broke in half and went down.
Yep.
It's just so sad. It's like almost a member of the family.
Although it is one thing that I've warned people about, that most of them have not believed me, was if you want to buy a house and it has a large willow tree growing on the property, you have to assume your basement's going to flood.
That's not necessarily true. Willows will grow in non-swamp areas quite well.
Yeah, but they just, they love places where the soil is saturated. So if you have a thriving willow, it usually means that, the soil's so saturated it's not going to absorb much more water in a heavy storm. Yeah, I'm not sure what's with the crowns.
It's just a little stupid thing that YouTube added.
Yeah, I've noticed it in some other channels too, and I didn't know, why some people got crowns and some people didn't.
It has to do with the engagement that you do. You post a comment, you super chat, whatnot, and it gives you points. And people who have the most points get crowns.
Yeah, I really wish you could turn it off.
Yeah, it's really freaking stupid. It seems to just be a waste of resources.
Yeah, well, that's usually what they tweak it for.
Well, it's trying to encourage engagement by gamifying it, but it's like, yeah, I don't need to be reminded I'm chatting way too much or whatever.
We don't need that kind of thing.
But then again, it's just a couple of pixels, and it's not like a gigantic resource. Since the page isn't digital, go on forever.
There's a little bit more than that than just the pixels, but
Well, right now my biggest problem with YouTube has been that they've disabled all the ad blockers on Chrome. Well, which is actually a Google problem, but it's because of YouTube.
no, time to switch to a different browser.
That's why I'm using Firefox.
Yeah,
well,
Firefox, Opera, Brave.
I'm in the process of transferring everything over to Firefox, but
I've heard Chrome has always been notorious for tracking you, though. So
yeah, they have been.
Yeah,
it's just as well. Chrome will change it eventually. They don't want them to do that, so they'll rewrite their software and fix that.
I wonder if they did that because Google's having to let go of Chrome. Let's trash the product before we have to let it go.
Yep. Oh, Regios is saying that there's a setting that you can opt out from the crowns.
Really?
More resources wasted.
I'll have to see if I can find that setting.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if that's something that you can do for the whole channel, or if it's just something individual users do.
Well, if it's something you do if the owner of the channel can opt out, I'll have to spread that around. Because I know a lot of people who don't like those things.
Okay, what's the star thing do?
Star thing?
Yeah, well, when I go and I look... Oh, okay, I'm sorry, that's in the StreamYard chat, not the YouTube. Though I still don't know what it does.
What's star thing?
Oh, I see the star thing.
In the StreamYard chat, if you go where there's usually the three dots, right next to it, there's an empty star, and if you click on it, it becomes a full star, but I don't know what that does.
Oh, okay, I don't see any such thing. So therefore, you must be lying.
I'm not lying, I'm delusional.
Well, okay, then obviously you're delusional.
Usually it's a mark that you've read it or something, I don't know. I have no idea what the star is for on the StreamYard's end.
Have any of you guys who are on Twitter gotten the opportunity to see this young woman's cooking episodes? They're like usually less than a minute or two long, and she does some fairly advanced dishes for, she's not a home cook. She's a professional. But she's this very attractive young woman who has attitude. You could just see it on her face. She's got an attitude. Maybe it's her character or whatever, but she's got this attitude like fuck you attitude. And every once in a while, while she's doing the recipe, she just looks at the camera and just gives you the finger. And
Okay.
and some of the dishes look so fucking delicious. And she can teach you a recipe in a minute. It's amazing. Good editing, everything. Her sound sucks though. She's got to get that. Olivia Teague something or other.
You need good sound most of all. Oh, and apparently the stars thing is works like a pin system. And so you click the star, and apparently you put the comment in some other section for you to be able to read later.
Ah. Does that give you timestamps then?
I don't know. It's already got timestamp right there on the comment, so.
Yeah, well, I'm just wondering if that would be a way that I could, mark it, for when we have a, change in the subject in the chat, if there's something, because I've been trying to think about how I could, edit some particularly good pieces out to maybe post as shorts. Or even longer discussions, just to clip out and just post the standalone discussions for people who won't watch a whole 2-hour stream.
I've never seen a Triceratops wearing shorts.
You can do that with YouTube's editor, but it's probably better just to use a tool like any video converter, download it and use it in a program like OpenShot to edit out the clips you want.
Yep. Okay. Well,
I've never seen a Triceratops wearing a bra. I want Perp to go on camera.
Well, Journey, first of all, I don't think that I'd be allowed on YouTube if I ran around naked.
I didn't say naked.
And secondly, I am not a Triceratops. I'm descended from a Torosaurus.
What's the difference? You're all dead.
I was going to say, I do think that's one thing I wish they would enforce on Men in Clapper, requiring them to put their shirts on. I see way too many shirtless men on Clapper who should not be shirtless.
Hmm.
Well,
I heard a resort town or something in France, I believe it is so sick of Americans coming as tourists and then walking from the beach into the town with the men we're talking about without shirts and just their Speedos or their swimsuits, that they've begun to ticket these people $150 if they don't put a shirt on, because they're tired of the big fat bellies grossing everyone out. I think that's a riot.
Yep. Sorry, I have to sending out a couple of links here. Oh, excuse me.
It's in tight.
Right. Sumami, we can skip the tie. I mean, ties are the most worthless garment ever.
Oh God, men's clothes are so awful. I feel sorry for men having to wear that stupid, ugly costume that they all are required to put on.
Never liked ties myself.
Well, that was the one thing about ties, is it was the one acceptable way for men to express some individuality when they have to wear the business suit.
There's a guy on Twitter today who had put together a thread. It's about 8 or 9 posts to the thread about men's shoe choices with suits and how these rules must be followed about which type of shoe you wear with your suit. And it's like, I don't care what you wear. They all look dumb. They're all boring as fuck.
Yep.
I'm gonna say the nice thing about my current job is that foot mirror rules really get abandoned fast because people realize they're on their feet for a long time and they're going to wear comfortable shoes. regardless of what the rules say. It's like that's one way to tell someone who like just started my job from someone who's experienced. If they're still wearing dress shoes, they're new. If they're wearing sneakers because they realize they're going to be on their feet all day, they have some experience.
Interesting thing to tell there. I'll have to keep an eye out for that.
You want to find the most comfortable shoes? Go to a hospital and talk to the nurses.
Yes.
Can I say niche? As far as I can tell, since my sister's a nurse, the nurses and teachers seem to be in agreement right now that Hoka is the most comfortable brand.
Which one? What brand was it?
It's called Hoka.
Hoka. Okay.
Hoka, really? That's the town next to us.
Hoka, yeah.
That's the town next to us. Hoka, Minnesota. I wonder if they have a shoe factory there. No, it's only 500 people, so I don't think they do.
So they sell high top versions.
I see lots in the times I've been in the hospital, lots and lots of nurses love to wear Crocs and just have a committed devotee status with them. They just say they're so comfortable. I don't know why Crocs get the bad rap that they do. I think mostly because giving them a bad rap is a fad. There's so many things that happens to.
Well, they are ugly as hell. So
No, they're no different than a damn clog that you would have bought in the 70s or 80s or 90s. They're just not made out of leather. They're made out of synthetics.
Yeah, I have a pair of Crocs now. Actually, I found them at the thrift store, but you know, I use them for kind of general running around. I could not like wear them all day because the inside sole has a kind of funny texture that, you know, bugs me in autistic ways if I'm wearing them for like more than an hour.
you do see a lot of them around here, seeing as they're good for boating and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, that if you want a shoe that's, you know, completely waterproof, they're your best bet.
You could, maybe you could try a some kind of shoe insert. You know, they got some of that memory foam inserts and stuff that you can get now.
Yeah, but then that goes back to defeating the fully waterproof thing.
Because you're in the water so much.
Well, you know, after a heavy rain and there's puddles in the parking lot, if I need to run out to the van for something.
Well, the problem with them being fully waterproof is like the pair of slippers I have that happen to be made by, or sandals that happen to be made by Crocs is like if they get wet, you can slip on the surface of the Crocs.
Yeah,
Well,
you know,
I'm gonna still maintain that they're ugly as hell.
would love to get a pair of Crocs, but I can't afford them. They're just way too expensive for a piece of injected plastic that takes about 10 seconds to make. And I've seen the production films of them making them. They take about 10 seconds to make.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I had never owned a pair until I found these at the thrift store. But they, you know, they were at the thrift store. They were my size, and they look like they're tie-dyed. So
Now,
know,
are
they
yours
fit
actual?
with my stuff?
Are yours actual Croc brand?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm
name
gonna
brand
look
ones.
to see if I can get you a set of headlights for those.
Headlights.
Yeah, they're really cute. They little headlight things, little headlight pods, and there's 2 per shoe, and they clip on to the front of the shoe, and you turn them on, and you have headlights as you walk.
Okay. I can't say I would use those
Oh,
because mostly I use them just like when I'm like ready to take the garbage out, and everything around here is well lit to begin with.
oh, we have some new people in the chats. Molly's here, and Swami. Of course, we saw Theo and somebody, some stable thing or other, and Kyle. Hi, guys.
Are we really sure of the stability of that milking stool?
No, we're not.
Well, it's stable in regard to it's a 3-legged stool, you know, and a 3-legged stool is the only kind of chair that can be stable regardless of the surface you're setting it on.
Well, there's an angular thing that reaches a certain limit.
Yeah,
it
but
may
if
sit
you're
there, but you're not going to sit on it.
Yep. Well, that's why they were popular as milking stools, because if you had a barn without a solid floor, or if it was just a dirt floor, then it didn't matter that the floor wasn't completely flat.
I mean, that's why they make tripods and not quad pods?
Yep.
Well, unless those Hoka shoes last about 12 years, there's no way I'd be able to afford them.
Are the Swiss really experts on anything except cheese, chocolate, clockwork? Cheese, chocolate, and clockwork.
They're pretty good at neutrality.
They're also good at making pocket knives.
They're also, I understand, pretty good at racism.
They're real good at
telling you
building
they're neutral.
tunnels.
No, sorry.
And who is this Victor Inox guy, huh?
They probably weren't as neutral in World War II as you might like to believe they were.
Inox is a type of iron, a type of steel.
Yep.
I don't know who Victor is.
Well, the Swiss were neutral in World War II because it meant that people from both sides could store their money in their banks.
Yes, and there was certainly no story a couple years ago about the Swiss all of a sudden finding like Jewish gold from World War II in their banks and releasing it.
Yeah, well, I was going to say the advantage to that was that if people stored the money in their banks and got killed in the war, then there was no one to claim the money.
Oh, I'll be right back.
But hey, we're having a lot of fun with the Swiss, but I was going to say, if it weren't some very specific Swiss individuals getting busy like 300 or 400 years ago, I wouldn't be here today. Among others.
Beep, beep, beep. Hold on, I need to check something here.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, ship up. Switzerland did horrible war crimes in World War II, letting through Jews from Italy to Germany, keeping the gold of Jews which never returned. And worst of all, Bank for International Settlements. Yep. Well, Tsunami, I think the fact was in World War II, nobody liked to fight, and the Swiss were the only ones who had the geography that they had the luxury of avoiding it. Because there were a limited number of ways up the mountains, so all they had to do was defend a couple of tunnels, and nobody could, get any kind of tanks or artillery up there.
I'm back.
Ooh.
I apologize. America's Test Kitchen was just doing one of their product reviews on pasta makers, and I've been looking for a pasta maker, and so now I know the best one you can buy.
Hi, back. I'm Journey.
I'm front.
So when does a joke become a dad joke?
When Dad tells it?
When it becomes apparent.
And some jokes are just dad on arrival.
Oh, geez, God almighty. You guys have been sharing the same book, haven't you?
Well, I used to be a dad, but, now you can see right through it because I'm transparent.
Is that when a dad joke becomes a mom joke?
Oh!
Yep.
By the way, have any of y'all seen the Amazon series Transparent?
No, I haven't.
No.
No,
Is
the
that still
next thing,
going? I thought that was discontinued.
next things I'm waiting for to come out on Amazon are Legend of Vox Machina Season 4, Aspen Hotel Season 2, and I guess Hell of a Boss is going to be on there now.
I didn't mean to see the Vox Machina.
Oh, is The Boys on there yet? Because it should be the final season of The Boys.
I missed last season.
I wanted to start watching South Park, and I can't because they're on Paramount, and I refuse to watch Paramount since they
I'll send you a link.
gave Trump the bribe and fired Colbert.
Trey Parker and Matt Stone are actually absolutely fine with piracy.
Yeah, I would like to see that episode myself.
I have seen it. I will give you a link.
Okay.
Oh, well, I can always play it during Thursday.
Oh, that would be cool.
Mage, you bad boy, you.
And honestly, it is very... Basically, Paramount gave them $1.5 billion to screw over Paramount.
Yep.
is what happened there.
Well, I have to see. Go, Jenny.
No, I would change the subject. Continue. Go ahead.
I was just commenting on the Swiss again. The U.S. during World War II, did some questionable stuff too. Like the Finnish were flying American planes, even though they were shooting at Russia, who was supposed to be our ally.
Oh, I mean, we didn't necessarily trust Russia either, but...
Yeah,
Greg,
but still, they were causing Russia to tie up tanks on that front that could have been going into Europe.
Greg, America has tried such things, but the Supreme Court keeps siding with the billionaires and saying it's okay to spend as much because money is voice, even if you have a bigger voice than everybody on the planet.
Can we just outlaw Elon Musk?
Can we just outlaw billionaires in general, that nobody needs to have more than $1 billion?
Yeah, we can start with Elon Musk. I mean, we can outlaw Elon Musk for other reasons, but...
Oh. I don't know who this person is, Keon Eris, but yeah. Lavender Lady died last summer. And we also lost Slothgirl and Glover Mom and Vonrek.
Yeah, we lost a lot of people that year.
Yep.
All at the same time.
We've lost a lot of... Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately,
you will not be watching season 27, episode 2 of South Park tomorrow because it's not going to come out until August.
It's not going to come out what?
It won't come out until August 6th.
Oh.
And I was going to say, Cartman's going to be a Charlie Kirk type figure.
Yeah. Is there a reason for the delay?
Not that I know of. I mean, other than just probably that they were at Comic-Con.
Can I say a kind word about Charlie Kirk?
I
doubt it.
I know it sounds impossible, but I feel very bad for Charlie Kirk right now. He is under a particularly larger amount of fire than he usually is, and a lot of it is very immaturely focusing on his unusual head shape and gum attributes of his teeth, and it seems so cruel. And I know that if it was me who was the object of that, it would be very distressing. And I just think it's very unfair for people to attack him on that level.
Yeah,
other than that, he's a goddamn motherfucking prick, and I hope he drops dead. But not because of his teeth.
You shouldn't attack people based on their physical appearance. You should only attack them based on bad ideas.
Or behavior.
Unless they're Stephen Miller.
I agree. He should be attacked for everything, especially that chrome dome.
Hey, I have to say, he looks very good for someone who was turned into a vampire 300 years ago.
How can a child who is who raised in a Jewish household become a Nazi? How is that possible?
Believe it or not, there were Jewish Nazis.
Yeah, but they didn't necessarily have all the details of what was going on. Today we do, and so there's
I'm
no
Apparently, it doesn't
excuse.
matter.
I mean, it was definitely an outlier and not a common thing, but they did exist.
I'm guessing, they're the pick-me people that they think that, if they side with the Nazis, that they will be spared.
Hey, look who's here, Bree. Hi, Bree.
A very stable milking stool. If you have any proof of that, I don't want to know. Please never share it.
Teacher, may I be excused to go get a cup of coffee?
No. Go ahead. Go get your coffee.
Okay, I will.
Okay, but you'll have to stay after class and clean the erasers.
Is that still a thing?
I doubt it, considering everybody uses whiteboards now instead of
No,
blackboards.
math teachers still prefer chalk for some reason. Which is why I hope my room has a whiteboard and not a chalkboard next year. I do not like chalkboards.
Yeah, the chalk dust gets to you.
Well, it also just feels weird, and being left-handed, the chalk gets on your hands, and it's hard to clean off than the dry erase marker.
And you can make those creepy sounds. Fingernails.
Was the American Eagle the brand that had the ad that says "We have good genes"?
Though you do have to admit, scratching your nails across the chalkboard was an effective way to get the class's attention.
Yeah, I just wish I could tell my class that's like the only way to pass my class is not to play. But I don't think most people would get that movie reference. It would be taken the wrong way.
Yeah. It took me a while to make the connection there. It's been a long time.
Well, I think I have seen them sell like a dark color or whiteboard. So I've heard some people like those over the whiteboards.
Well, I can see that, the whiteboard is kind of glaring.
Yeah, it tends to have better retention span.
Yeah, a lot of times you get bad reflections off of it, and being autistic, it would be difficult for me to look at for too long.
Yeah, I have a trouble with that too.
Sounds kind of like the inverse of my problem with the chalkboard.
Yeah, well, they actually have found chalkboards do have some benefits that you don't get with whiteboards, with the interaction and retention. But apparently, you can solve that if you just make the thing black or a darker color.
Well, we do know that programmers are allergic to light-themed IDEs. It's like every time I encounter one, it's like, change it to dark.
Oh yeah, I'm like that too. If I can, I'll change it to dark.
I keep my computers all in dark mode 24/7.
I mean, YouTube I still prefer in white, but Twitter is in dark mode. All my IDEs are in dark mode.
I can't stand YouTube in white. Especially late at night, it's just too much glare.
My text editors are in dark mode.
It's easier on the eyes.
Blue sky is in dark mode.
Mm-hmm.
Going back before the full color monitors got cheap, the ones I always liked were that instead of the green text, that they had some monitors that it was orange text on the dark background. And I found those much easier to deal with.
Yeah, I remember those.
In fact, I have StreamYard here on dark mode.
Yep. Well, I've got my computer on a universal dark mode, so it's supposed to change. Actually, I think it's in adding for the Chrome that changes all websites to dark
Yeah.
mode.
Opera has a thing built into it that allows you to change things to dark mode, but it doesn't always work too well.
Yeah. One thing I seem to be lacking for Firefox is having a spell checker, which I really need because without it, my spelling is atrocious.
Wait,
I
there's a spell checker in Firefox.
I usually use Grammarly, but I've been having issues with Grammarly lately.
I've never had an issue not getting things underlined in Firefox.
Oh, I'm finding it's missing a lot of words.
Well, that could just be the spell checker, but
Well, that's what I mean. I was wondering if somebody could recommend a good spell checker for it.
Like I said, I use Grammarly, but it's been giving me issues this past about I'd say the past about year. It's been really issuey. and
Yeah,
buggy.
don't you have to pay for Grammarly?
No, it's free.
Oh, okay. They do
what
have
do you
free.
use? What do you use as your word processor?
My I'm not really sure what I really use with your word processor.
What do you use as your word processor?
LibreOffice.
Just copy it into LibreOffice, run a spell check on it, and copy it back in.
Yeah, but that's extra steps every time I want to make a little reply to anything.
Theo, yes, absolutely, it is still a thing.
I
And
really
getting
should
worse.
I really should download Libra.
Yeah, I used to use Apache Office, but I have found, Libre is it's easier to find the options in the menus.
I mean,
Gee, on those horrible Apples, everything I have has a built-in processor. Oh no, I'm sorry. It uses the system's spell check on everything.
Mm-hmm.
You're still not selling us on Apple.
I don't care.
listen, Jenny just prefers her Unix flavors to be based on a BSD core instead of a Linux core.
Mm.
One complaint I have about spell checkers, whether it is the system, Apple system or others, is that they seem to censor certain words, that they won't give you an option for certain words. Like if you write fuck,
Yeah.
okay, they won't spell check that. You spell it wrong and they won't, and no suggestions. Come on, it's like it's just such childish censorship as far as I'm concerned.
Well, and the autocomplete, on most phones wants to change it to duck.
Yeah, one of my favorite memes was, "Dear autocorrect, it is never duck."
Yeah.
Or one of the other ones in that genre that says, "Dear autocorrect, I'm tired of your ducking shirt."
Mm-hmm.
I heard the inventor of autocorrect passed away. His funfair will be next monkey.
You get a sloth for that.
Thank you.
Oh, Theo,
Thanks, Purple.
I see what you're getting at, Theo. Yeah, I think that whole Sweeney thing is just stupid as fuck.
Yeah, I heard somebody say that I needed to get a spell checker that instead of being English or American, that I needed one that's Canadian.
You just change that to Canadian US in your set or Canadian English in your settings.
I never noticed Canadian as being an option in any of the spell checkers I've used.
It should be one in LibreOffice, I think.
I like my little dictionary that I use. It's Farlex or Farfex. Writes it. I think it actually is the same thing as the online dictionary. Anywho, you set it to what language you want. In my case, English, of course, or American English, because it has a little American flag. But you can also switch between British English and I think it was Australian English, and to include all the additional definitions to words that is one way for us and another way for them.
A lot of times I think Canadian English is a lot more similar to British English, especially with the spellings. We don't like those unnecessary use in words.
Well, you know, Canada's been getting kind of fed up with the Americans now.
They should.
So they're still being polite about it, but now they're saying, "Oh, sorry about that. I'm going to have to kick your ass now."
I'm a believer in the you in lots of words, not necessarily all of them, but like the word behavior. We all pronounce it behavior, right?
Mm-hmm.
That requires a you. The word harbor does not.
Yep. Actually, the GPS I have for my car speaks in an Australian accent, Australian dialect.
Personally,
so it took a little bit to get used to, but
personally, I think we should go back to the Anglo-Frisian alphabet for English. So everything we write looks like it's out of Tolkien's works.
I love playing with megas and asking them in the heat of an argument, should we eliminate Arabic letters and numbers from our schools? Absolutely.
I actually got into an argument with someone a couple of years ago. I got into an argument with someone on one of the city buses who said it would be a shame if we taught Iraqi numerals to our kid. I'm like, do you mean Arabic numerals?
Oh, jeez.
I'm guessing it's the same people you can get to say, "Hey, I'm not a homo sapien."
Well, I was pointedly trying to ignore this guy. He was like, "It's a shame our children can't read clocks anymore." And I was sitting there looking at my cell phone, trying to say it's like, "Hey, there's a reason why this skill's kind of dying out." But then he was like, "Oh yeah, what if our kids learn Iraqi numerals instead of American?" It's like, do you mean Arabic numerals? Because I've got some bad news for you.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I didn't know at the time it's like Arabic numerals actually originated in India, and they're called Arabic because they were introduced to Europe through Arabic traders. But
well, and actually, one important difference was made. That when the Arabic numerals were brought to Europe was when the zero was invented.
The plane?
No, that the original Arabic numerals, they just left an empty space there. And when they were translating it, it was like, well, how do you draw an empty space? And somebody said, well, just draw a hole.
Now, I have never heard of that particular discussion documented anywhere. Would you care to share a source?
Well, my main source for it is James Burke, who tended to be very well researched as far as his history on such things.
I really wish I could have taken the course History of Mathematics, but unfortunately CS classes didn't count as math classes at my university. Even if they really were math classes like discrete structures.
And I still think mathematics are both invented and discovered.
Well, mathematics are discovered. The symbols and the numbers we use are what we invented to express them.
No. Mathematics is, well, let's just say yes and move on. Because this is one of the things you can start a math message boards to start an argument. Another good one is, does 0.999 repeating equal 1?
Yes.
All depends on the level of precision you require.
It also depends on what you're doing.
You can also never cut anything in half.
But if there's, let's put it this way, if there's a function of x where the value is 0.9999 repeating, you can say that the limit approaches 1.
It's like pi. Pi is 3.14 blah blah blah. We'll give it that many digits, and everything else. Who the fucking cares?
Well,
Yeah, they've had computers calculate pi out to close to 2 billion digits now, looking if it would repeat, and it still didn't.
Do you know what a mathematician will give you as the exact value of pi?
Huh.
Pi. Because pi is the symbol you use to represent the exact value, because there is an exact value. It's just you can't express it as a decimal or a fraction.
Is what we were taught in elementary school, Sinister, correct, that they said pi is an expression of 22 divided by 7?
That is an approximation when you're expressing pi as a fraction.
What is it more accurately?
Pi.
Oh yeah, we missed that.
Pi is the exact value of pi, just like the square root of 2 is the exact value of the square root of 2.
Everybody thinks that March 14th is Pi Day, but actually that's only American Pi Day, because we're the only ones who write it as having the day before or the month before the day.
You don't want to know what we do with the pi.
Well, for the rest of the world, then Pi Day should actually be July 22nd, because that's 7/22.
Well, in America, you also have Tau Day on 6/28, June 28th. Because there's an argument about whether pi or tau is the better circle constant. Because in a lot of expressions, you use 2 pi, which would be tau.
There was apparently a mockumentary for Spinal Tap. It's a Spinal Tap 2, but some people are calling it Spinal Tap Pi because they're using a Stonehenge thing for the 2. So it looks more like a pi symbol. I'll show you.
Ooh, hey.
See?
Yeah.
So some people are calling it Spinal Tap Pi instead of Spinal Tap 2.
Yeah, well, since we were arguing about the Arabic numbers, I was, really wondering how these people would feel if we went back to Roman numerals and trying to do math in Roman numerals.
Phew.
And, how compatible are Roman numerals with the metric system?
I can't even imagine how they would do mathematics with the Roman numerals.
Using systems that you got to admire those mathematicians who did that, though.
Yeah.
Like the accountants of the day.
Yeah, I can't imagine how they did.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying I can't imagine how they did. It's
Yeah, it's very confusing.
I think sometimes they use different systems that were also in use at the time, but
V plus V equals X.
Well, yeah, but one of the different systems that was popular in the time was based on 60.
They had base 60?
Yeah.
The Mesopotamians use a base 60 system, which we have remnants of today, like the clock, a 360-degree circle.
Yeah, that's where it came from, because of divisions of a circle.
That I wondered about once, and I sat down and I started to divide a circle, and it comes up with 360. You can get more, but it's just too confusing to try to actually look at the differences.
Yeah, when the French first took up the metric system, they did also try to promote a metric clock of just dividing the day into 100 even parts for the minutes.
Greg, the Romans do have a 0, but we call them the Pope.
But that's only after the Emperor Constantine made Catholicism the official religion of the Roman Empire. Okay, I was good. Jeez. If
I
that
go
would have
with
been
Leo
funny, you'd
Frank
still have to be a nerd to get that joke.
And remember, Constantine is just a male version of Connie. Emperor Connie.
Do you know the Romans had an emperor who never aged past 19?
No, tell us a story.
Yeah, he was Constantine.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay.
That deserves applause.
I go with
you
Leo
guys
Frankowski.
keep this up, and I'm going to start referring to all of you as Dad. You got that?
Well, there is
Okay,
still
back.
that question that in a lesbian relationship, you've got the mommy, and then what do you refer to the other parent as?
Mommy.
Yeah, well, people have come up with a lot of different answers for that.
Whatever she wants to be referred as would be my guess, but
Yeah.
there's still a biological father in most of those relationships.
Yeah, here's one. I just pooped my pants. I was really concerned because I don't remember eating my pants. I know it's a shitty joke.
Theo, tell us the Roman numeral pun.
You
All
just
right.
Or is that it? I, for one, am a big fan of them.
All right, so a Roman centurion walks into a bar and holds up his hands in like this and says, "I'll have 5 beers, please."
Yep. Roman soldier asks his buddy, "You want to guess how many women I've slept with?" His buddy says, and he says, "Oh, no, not that many."
Yeah, I still get confused with the Roman numerals when you get, much beyond 10. I forget which symbol is the 50, if it's the L or the V.
I like chemistry jokes too. And chemistry puns. I think those can be fun.
I love computer science jokes and programming jokes, but most people don't get them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are certain jokes that depends on your audience. I've got a lot of, carpentry and handyman jokes that you won't get if you haven't worked in the field.
And Sinister, my favorite computer joke, and I know that it's not technically accurate, but based on the code, but it's still funny. Is the gay programmer's favorite line of code is C:\enter.
No, that took me a second, Jenny, but that was a good one.
Porpoise's empty chair disagrees.
No, because one of the great things about being asexual is all the sex jokes I have to pretend to get. I did not get that one.
Well, a colon is what's attached to the rectum.
I don't want to explain.
Oh.
She said that was one of the great things about being ace.
And with the aid of just a little bit of lubricant. No. All right, I got a poll for everybody. Which is your preference, I should say? Corn or flour tortillas, or tortillas or tortilla chips?
Which ones are covered in nacho cheese? Or
Those are usually with corn.
Well, I prefer flour tortillas, but if they're chips, I would prefer corn.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah, me too.
I would rather have soft tacos.
Or I just go with one of those double decker where you have the soft taco and the hard shell all combined. Those are pretty good.
Sorry, theoretically, his Roman numeral pun just reminded me of an old show on PBS called Square Run. one, and I can find some of the music videos they did. There's one called The Mathematics of Love that they're trying to like teach kids about Roman numerals.
And why do we
I
have to
don't
learn
remember that.
Roman numerals? Because so that we can read copyrights on old movies?
So you can read cuckoo clocks.
Yeah, I have wondered at what point we're going to have a generation that just can't read the clocks. And for a long time there, I thought we were going to have a generation that didn't know how to tie shoes because everything had gone to Velcro instead.
There are already kids who have trouble with clocks, analog clocks.
Well, I can tell you it is taught.
And also the various types of words that we apply to things like 6:30.
And
Yeah.
well, also, cursive was not taught for a while, but they brought it back just for legal reasons and for reading ancient documents.
Yeah,
I still
well,
need to get a T-shirt that says "I can read ancient text in cursive."
My feeling on cursive has always been teach it, but don't grade it, because some people just don't have the fine motor movement to write well.
yeah.
But if you know how and you can read it and you can attempt to write it, that's great. But they shouldn't be graded because that affects their whole life.
The thing is,
Yeah, well, they didn't bring it back soon enough because one of my nephews managed to graduate high school without being able to write his name in cursive.
penmanship is no longer as important as it used to be, and I guess like they're teaching type in elementary schools now to take its place. But they've also had to like bring back cursive just because it's a skill they're going to need.
Mm-hmm.
Just like they want to keep the skill of reading analog clocks alive. So, but most of us carry around cell phones now, and a lot of us don't wear. And those of us who don't wear smartwatches don't wear watches anymore.
I've never worn watches. I just don't like things on my wrist that way. A loose bracelet is one thing, but a tight watch.
But if I don't have a smartwatch, I can't like take phone calls on it and pretend to be Dick Tracy.
I used to carry a pocket watch, but I didn't like a wristwatch either.
I like wristwatches.
I mean, I know it's a silly reason to own a smartwatch, but
I like that reason.
Somebody was showing off their new. I'm a rich fuck and I'm going to stick it in your face. Rolex. It was its nickname is the Barbie Rolex, and it's got a pink gem face and a ring of pink sapphires all the way around it, and all the cardinal points are pink sapphire also. It's really, really pretty.
you know,
Well, I remember, like I guess probably in the early '90s, that one of the fads was wearable tech. So they had their idea for a wearable computer, which was basically like a sized down keyboard that was strapped to your forearm.
well, that's kind of a common cyberpunk trope too, for like the Shadowrun Deckers and the cyberpunk netrunners.
See, I heard that was becoming a fad in the 90s, and I decided that I would join in and get together an outfit to go to the club in. That was nice and techy, and I got there, and everybody looked at me, laughed, and said, "You should have used 10mm wrenches, not 19."
And the silliest incarnation of the wearable computer is Fallout's Pip-Boy.
I've never played Fallout, so I don't get what you mean.
Well, if you have Amazon, you can watch the series where they show them. But
Well, they do sell them, or
Yeah,
some
they're just-
version of it.
in the game, they're just wearable wrist computers that essentially serve the same function as the cell phone serves today, except you can't take calls on them.
Actually, I always needed some kind of strap I could wear my cell phone on my wrist.
Yeah, I was thinking about the same thing of just basically just a pocket with probably a Velcro strap around it, so that I could just strap my Velcro or just strap my phone to my upper arm.
They do
as
sell.
being the fastest way I could actually get it out to answer a call, because trying to pull it on my purse, the call rolls over to voicemail before I can answer it.
Well, they do sell things that you can wear your phone on your upper arm, and it's usually more for like jogging and stuff. But
Yeah,
I was thinking
yeah, that's the kind
put
of
on the
thing I was
wrist.
thinking of.
Yeah, you want like the Leela thing where she's on her
Yeah, I
wrist.
want the Leela thing.
Or the Pit
Part-
Boy.
Part of
Yeah,
me would
good
like
boy.
to have a smartwatch because they can do a limited EKG. They can't do a full 12 lead, but they can do like a basic 4 lead, 6 lead.
My smartwatch gave me a scare like late in May where just the heart rate sensor went bad. And I kept
Mhm.
getting warnings like, your heart rate is dangerously fast.
Well, I could see uses for one, but it also seems that, all of them, like dump your information to where a company can use it.
Well, honestly, I was gonna say there's very little information that my watch can give Samsung that my cell phone doesn't already give Samsung.
Well, mostly I was interested in, something that would track my sleep patterns just to, actually know how many hours I spend laying down versus how many hours I actually get any sleep.
I could use one of those myself.
I think
I
you
want a
get devices
smartwatch I want a smartwatch I can keep track of how many hours I masturbate.
I think you can do that with simple logs that don't need a smartwatch to detect that activity, but
You've never seen me get hot. Yeah, sorry.
No,
nor do I want to.
but
No, thank you.
Jenny,
Yes.
you would run into the problem of they only record up to 24 hours in any given day.
Oh fuck, that's a problem. And that's
Oh,
that's only for one
my.
orgasm.
Oh my.
I'm sorry, 90 pounds is how much in freedom dollars?
I was going to ask how much was it in quid.
A quid
I
is
guess
just another
$1
slang
doesn't
for a pound. Like a
Yeah.
dollar is a buck.
Yeah, I know.
Let's see, it is.
So
91 freedom degrees.
who thinks that the world is going to get off using the US dollar as the standard and switch to the EU?
Well, there's no.
Looks
Trump
like
is causing us so much damage. I would love to say it's deliberate, but the guy's an idiot.
I don't know what they're going to switch to, but currently the people have been turning to gold more than away from the dollar right now. So, but that might change.
You know what the funny thing is about gold? All these apocalypse idiots are after it. Oh, you gotta have precious metals. The government's going to collapse. Okay, who's going to weigh this? Who's going to exchange this to
Yep.
make it an actual usable thing? How are you going to carry it around?
Yeah, these people still have the idea that when society collapses, they're going to be able to take their gold down to the grocery store to buy what they need.
Listen, these people still have the idea that what they need is the apocalypse more than anything else is ammunition, rather than simple things like food and water.
Yep.
Yeah. And Sinister, I think it is definitely not deliberate on the part of Trump, but it might be deliberate on the part of the Heritage Foundation.
Yeah, I could see that.
Could you delineate that?
Like the breaking down of the American nation. Yeah, the Heritage Foundation probably would like to see America broken up into little republics, where some of them can be outright theocracies, and yeah, New York and California can be their own liberal woke entities.
Well, heathen granny, I'd rather not, and not just because I'm asexual.
Yeah.
That's because that would result in more members of the Heritage Foundation.
Yeah, I would agree to that. We don't want to let these people breed any more than they already do. How
a
long
very
is left? You know, we never know. We never know how much longer we're going to continue rambling.
Listen, it's also Gen Con Day here in the United States, so a lot of people, if they're gamers, will be in Indianapolis.
Yay, Gen Con.
Yeah, I've never gotten to Gen Con.
Invented in Milwaukee.
Yep. Well, Stool, there's a link for you on Blue Sky if you want to come in.
Well, Indianapolis almost lost Gen Con because of Pence.
Oh, really? I can imagine why, but please tell us.
Well, Indiana does have limited LGBT protections, but the only reason they have them is because Pence went too far with the Religious Freedom Restoration Act. And as a result, like Gen Con, Pfizer, and even NASCAR threatened to pull out of the state.
Yep. I heard about NASCAR threatening to leave.
I would like to make a mention of NASCAR. I know none of you follow NASCAR. I follow it tacitly at best. The big NASCAR race at the Indianapolis Raceway was won by Bubba Wallace, the first black man to ever win a NASCAR championship.
Oh, the Brickyard 400?
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's not the race the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is best known for, but it does take
No,
place.
of course not. In NASCAR, it's their biggest race. Well, I shouldn't say the biggest race, but it's a major event of the year. And further note, Bubba Wallace is also the black NASCAR driver who had to put up with other NASCAR crews doing things like hanging nooses in their garage space.
The noose thing turned out to be a non-issue. It was hung there at the previous race in the fall of the previous year, and it was just by chance that his team got that garage stall. When he found it.
So if you like NASCAR but you don't like Formula One, is that being racist?
Only if you also don't like IndyCar.
Oh.
See, I completely
you get a
ignored
sloth.
that one.
Also, don't forget there are other racing sports like monster truck shows.
That's not racing.
That's not racing. That's just an exhibition.
That's just a bunch of greasy boys masturbating and who can come the furthest.
Racing actually is a part of monster truck shows, believe it or not.
Yeah. Now, drifting is not racing. You can call it motorsport, but it's not racing.
But mostly monster truck shows are just popularity contests, like which monster truck do the fans like the most.
I don't know on drifting competition if they time your lap or if they artistically judge it. But drifting is an incredible skill, especially when you got two cars that can drift within a foot or so of each other and change places as they go around corners and stuff. It is a very difficult method of driving.
Yeah, it's you're not allowed to change places when two cars are going at the same time. One is specifically the leader, the other is specifically the follower, and then like for the next lap they might trade places. But if you pass during the lap, that's a rule violation.
Theo, it's pronounced Spätzle. Say that with me. Spätzle.
I would also like to thank a very stable milking stool for sharing what movies are in his porn collection with us. But I don't know how he knows that Jenny likes that movie, but I don't want to ask either.
I'm sorry, which movie?
Allegedly.
He's masturbating.
Yeah.
Many people are saying this.
I'm sorry. I'm all up for the joke, but I missed it. What?
Stool said your favorite movie is Greasy Boys Masturbating.
Oh, I've never seen that film. Did you enjoy it?
I'm not allowed to watch it because I'm in the UK.
No, I just assumed you had this on DVD.
Wait a minute. You're assuming that Stool watched this movie, not that he was one of the people in the movie.
No, for Stool, it was a documentary.
Yeah, I love documentaries.
Well, the thing is, Rule 34 is a thing, so we have to assume something, either this or something like this exists.
Listen, don't mock the documentaries. The high quality of documentaries on the Pornhubs. A lot of it is very educational.
Theo, your spelling was perfectly correct. I was just giving you the verbal how it's usually pronounced.
I mean, honestly, if the UK wanted to, like, I have to wonder if, like, a lot of these states having similar laws to what just passed or to what just went through in the UK aren't just like someone did a backroom deal with VPN companies.
That's what I've been saying about the U.S. states that passed the bans on them.
Oh, don't get me
They were
started on
doing
this
it
one.
because the people were invested in UPNs.
And well, I mean, it's unlikely because I have another theory, and that's that a lot of the Republicans enacting these porn bans are also the same people that are enacting anti-trans laws. So my theory is that they're restricting these because they're afraid transgender porn is going to be lost.
Do you want to hear my theory?
No, but you're going to tell me anyway.
I am, and it trumps yours. No pun intended.
No, Stool, it is not mermaids.
No, let's be honest. We're all grown-ups here, and to be clear about
Speak
that,
for yourself.
No. I've legally had to prove that I'm a grown-uppy to look at Reddit and Twitter and whatever. So I'm legally a grown-up. That's proof. That's a fact. So I'm
legally,
now
not
legally allowed
functionally.
to say, in response to that little theory that Porpoise had, you're incorrect.
I mean,
here's the fact: those Republican motherfuckers in your country, they're pedophiles.
Oh well, I mean, yeah, that's.
There you go. I said it.
Can't deny that with recent news, but my theory for a while was that they just needed to be assured that even if they gave trans people rights, transgender porn would still exist.
Well, did you hear Trump's new story of the week for the Epstein files?
Which 5 different versions of it?
Yeah, well, we went from the files didn't exist to the files did exist, but it was all Democrats in it, to yes, Trump's name is in it, but it's because somebody planted his name while the Biden administration was in power.
No,
Obama did it. No, it was when the Obama administration was in power.
Okay.
Get your lies straight there.
We're my hair color on clapper. Cool.
Yeah, but I mean, is there anyone? Well, yeah, I'm asking this sarcastically because unfortunately I know there are, but who can't see that somebody is lying if they have a different story for the same problem every time you ask them?
I know the answer. It's the people who wear red hats.
Okay, were the red hats manufactured on the brainsucker planet?
They were manufactured in China.
Yep.
Okay, I got the Futurama reference.
China.
I have a feeling if I put some sunglasses on and look at those red hats, they're just going to say no independent thought.
Really,
wouldn't that be fun to do? To work at the plant that makes those and to do an ultraviolet ink stamp on the back of them that says that you can only see under black light?
Yeah,
that would just show up all the jizz stains.
Yeah, did you hear about Trump's cell phone company that they had started out advertising, proudly manufactured in the U.S. and now they've had to, put all sorts of misleading speak in it because they can't legally say they were made in the U.S. because all the phones come from China.
Well, one of the things he needed to do was not repeal the CHIPS Act to get more of these chips made in the U.S. because that's just Trump is an idiot.
Yeah, that was a dumb move.
So you're suggesting that Trump tried to actually think?
Yeah, I understand the problem there. his only thought process is Biden did it bad.
Yeah,
My favorite thing about his whole phone deal was that within 24 hours of their statement that they're going to do this, people were coming out with numbers that show you're not going to be able to build a plant to build your phones in this country in less than 5 to 10 years.
Yep. And that's the problem with all of his tariffs, that he's making the goods coming in more expensive, but yeah, for companies to gear up and actually start producing things here, in most cases is going to take them up close to 10 years.
Unfortunately, I don't think Trump actually knows what tariffs are.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't understand them.
And a lot of the people who voted for him didn't look up what tariffs were before voting for them.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm just...
A lot of the people who voted for him also did not take what he was saying on deportation seriously. And, now there's all sorts of MAGA voters who are coming forth and saying, but I thought he was only going to go after the gays and the brown people.
I just saw a news clip this morning about a Korean, I believe it was Korean, doctor
Korean,
who was involved with some level of Lyme's disease research, who is being deported, and the excuse they're using is, well, back 14 years ago or so, he did have a charge of marijuana.
Well,
these fuckers are just so...
As far as I can tell, Stephen Miller is the one that's in charge of immigration policy right now for the most part.
Absolutely, he is, yeah.
Which is why
Miller is one of the most despicable pieces of shit on this planet.
Well,
he needs to get that 24-hour meningitis.
What Miller needs is an incompetent intern to schedule him to speak during daylight hours. Because I've never seen Stephen Miller in direct sunlight, and there has to be a reason for that.
Okay, yep. I'm gonna invoke my magic powers and take you back in time. I'm doing the... Do I have to turn my camera on? I'm going to do the bibbly-boo, okay? A bibbly-boo, a bibbly-boo, a bibbly-boo.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. So
yeah, wait a minute. If you're winding an analog clock backwards, we're not going to follow half of it.
Back in Trump version 1.0, Miller was allowed out into public. They let him out on 2 or 3 occasions. But they had to stop him being out in public because he was so, I'm going to say Nazi, they had to make him stop speaking in public because he is really fucking bad.
Listen, I'm not going to stop insinuating he's a vampire.
Okay, vampires are kind of cool, but Miller, no. He is not a cool vampire.
You go back into Miller's history and talk to kids he knew in high school, and they all hated him and said that he was just as horrible of a person then as he is now.
You can watch the videos from when he was at high school.
Oh,
this is one despicable piece of shit. He really is.
According to Marvel Comics, Dracula worked with the Nazis in World War II. So there you have. I even can cite an authoritative source for it.
Because the most common name I've heard for Miller is Nazi Ferratu.
I'm okay with that. I get that. Yeah.
Yes, Did you have to do that one just as I was taking a drink, though?
And yes, I'm sure he's not actually a vampire, but
I'm going to do a bibbly-boo again. I need to do a bibbly-boo.
Bibbly-boo.
I mean, even like
it's always best when 2 people do it together.
I've heard that rumor.
Even Godbrand from Castlevania's 2nd season was more likable.
Do you guys? Theo brings it up. Do you really think that this Ghislaine Maxwell is going to get a pardon of some sort?
It depends on what's in it for Trump.
Staying out of prison.
Well, honestly, I hope Ghislaine accepts the...
Well, according to latest news, and I'm sorry for the delay, I didn't mean to interrupt, but according to latest news, and remember I live in the future, so I get my American news hours before you do.
Sometimes you get it 6 hours before it happens.
I know. I'm just fucking amazing.
You got all those creative writers.
The clever people in, I don't know, the people who sit in the place in your America, what Congress or whatever it's called, they've done a votey thing and they've said, ain't happening. She ain't getting no pardon.
Yeah, Congress is the name for in both the Senate and the House.
Okay, don't patronize me.
I'm just explaining that's what it's called.
But
Well, it's the
yeah,
same thing with parliaments. There's the House of Commons
and House of Commons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, don't make me explain British things.
No,
to
you don't have to. We understand. We got
No,
it.
you really don't, and that's what.
No, we
me.
do too.
No, you don't. Go back to your movie.
Damn it, we can retcon your history anytime we want to.
Yeah. And that would actually take you a day or two, whereas looking into America's history would take me like 5 minutes.
The neatest thing about British royalty is that it's an extreme long-term study on
Hey, that's not British, that's all of Europe.
Genetic degradation over centuries of incest and things.
Yeah, there's a lot of inbreeding going on there.
That's a much better choice word. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And funnily enough, I think that's about 30 minutes into your favourite movie.
Which is?
I've forgotten what it was now. People inside chat will remember. But apparently it's a very popular movie. Which I can't watch because I'm British.
All I remember is something about greasy men.
Mm-hmm.
Greasy boys masturbating.
Figures you'd think about greasy men.
And honestly,
that was it. Greasy. I'm going to make this a hashtag, Jenny. Sorry, but I love you. But hashtag greasy boys masturbating.
Oh, that's okay. Just keep my name out of it.
Oh no, I was going to make sure everybody knew that that's your favorite movie.
I'm sure his name is in the credits.
Oh.
I said that before. That Stool was one of the actors.
Shush. I was young and I needed the money. Okay.
Hey, no shame. I'd do it if I thought somebody'd pay to see me naked.
The sad thing is, someone out there will.
Yeah, that would be one of the problems if you don't get to pick your co-stars, because then you might wind up, having to do a scene with somebody like Ron Jeremy.
One of the sad truths of reality is you are someone's kink.
Was Ron Jeremy the person from the 80s with a big penis?
Yeah.
Everybody said yes. Who said yes then altogether?
He also made a small cameo in Ghostbusters.
Mage. Seriously. Now I have to laugh at you as well.
Yeah, but all the people who worked with him said he was a really slimy bastard.
Who are you talking about? I missed that. I was writing a note down.
Ron Jeremy, a porn star from the 80s.
Oh, I have no idea who that is.
Yeah, he also wound up... he also wound up being a D-list celebrity. Like, he made cameos in a couple of movies. And I think he was on some reality TV show.
I love what's your name? The short guy from UK. Stool. Yeah. No laughing. I am not into porn. I have watched porn once in my life, and I lasted about 10 minutes and said, "This is absolutely asinine," and I haven't watched any since, and I have no intention of.
So you lasted 10 minutes.
And it's not because it's
that's 7 minutes more than most people.
Yeah.
Well, I had to finish business, but
euphemisms galore.
And it wasn't because it was sexually based, although that certainly had some influence. It was just so poorly done. It was so absolutely baser in its intent. There's lack of writing, lack of intent, lack of talent. All it is just a bunch of greasy white messes all over the place.
It's insanely boring.
And I have just no interest in that kind of crap.
No,
give me a well-written dirty novel, like it's a Miller's Tale or something like that. That's different.
I could occasionally watch porn, but I have to watch it muted. because if I'm actually listening to the dialogue, it just completely ruins it.
Yeah,
Did
the
you just
dialogue
say you have to watch it nude?
the dialogue interferes with paying attention to your rhythm.
Okay, so what was your original point? Because we weren't talking about porn when we got on this tangent.
Yeah,
We said something about Ron Jeremy. I forget how we got onto that.
I seem to have broken everything.
Oh yeah, no, that's
This
I
is
was
what happens.
saying. I was saying that, you know, if you were doing it because you were getting paid, then you might have to do a scene with somebody like Ron Jeremy.
Yeah, we weren't even talking about porn. It was something about some point about British government, I think.
Pretty much the same thing,
royalty.
to be honest.
Royalty.
Yeah, it was something about Parliament, and I'm not sure how we got from Parliament to porn.
And
Well,
I
some
just
brought up incest.
and I was happily to withdraw that because I couldn't find a way to accurately describe King Charles and Queen Elizabeth having that.
I can remember. I'm not going to do a diddly-do, but this all started when the filth monster that is Jenny started talking about her favourite porn movie, which was Greasy Men Masturbating.
Yeah, she wasn't the one that started that, but okay.
No, I'd be much. Well, I'm not even going to say that because it'll go where I don't want it to.
That's what she said. That was a really good. That's what she said. Come on, give me some fucking praise for that one.
The one time they did that to someone was like in a college class, and they walked out to get a drink, and they took their bottle with them. It's like, I'm going to fill this bottle with bitter disappointment, and this guy just got on my nerves. So I just said, "That's what she said." Out of the room.
Mm-hmm.
Well, since we mentioned Ron Jeremy, apparently he was charged with sexual assault of several women, but
Yep.
apparently he was found by a judge to be mentally unfit to stand trial due to incurable neurocognitive decline.
Isn't he dead now?
Mitch, have you
Yeah, I
just
think he is.
actually been Googling
Yeah.
Ron Jeremy?
No, he's still alive.
Oh, is he?
I did it a while ago.
Yeah, I remember that bit about the judge saying that he was mentally unfit to stand trial. I didn't quite understand what that was about.
No, I believe he just has some degenerative.
Well, he had a lot of degenerative things, but that's what got him into the sex scandal thing.
That's what made him famous in the first place.
Exactly. Just say
he was a degenerate, but he had a whatever. Honestly, I never saw anything he was in except possibly Ghostbusters, and I would have no idea who he was.
He was just a background guy in the crowd.
There was another movie he was in the early 2000s, I think. I want to say Dodgeball, but I don't think that was it.
Yeah, well, like I said, I know he made cameos in a number of movies around that time.
I'm not even sure if it was actually intentional for him to be a cameo in Ghostbusters either. He just happened to be there.
He just happened to be there with his cock out.
Well, you know, if anybody wants to, I'm sure you could go on IMDb and it would give you a list of movies he was in. I'm not going to do it.
Speaking of unintended people showing up in movies, does anyone remember Star Trek 4 where Chekhov asked, it's like, which way are the nuclear...
Yes!
And someone who wasn't even an extra just said, maybe you should look over there, and Alameda...
Yeah. That was completely unscripted. They were actually walking around town asking, and she was just some random person on the street.
By the way,
it was just so perfect they said leave it in.
Yeah.
Sound like release for him.
By the way, the Wikipedia entry for Ron Jeremy says that he was a pornographic actor and an actor.
Nice of making the distinction.
But not necessarily at the same time.
Isn't that like saying I'm both a substitute teacher and a teacher? Well,
I did actually once, way back when, see a porn movie that actually had a decently written script. That the woman was a detective and she just knew that was an easy way to get information out of men. It was
Yeah,
a
that
premise
works.
that made sense, and the dialogue actually was passable.
Sounds like something Jessica Jones might do.
Actually, I think it was Kitten Natavadad or something like that.
Well, I mean, Jessica Jones is a Marvel character, but
I think tsunami,
don't
which
know.
is a relevant word for what is happening at the moment, might be having a stroke in side chat.
I think there is actually a X-rated movie that won an Academy Award. I think it was called Midnight Cowboy. And I've also
really?
heard the movie Caligula's X-rated version is more historically accurate than the R-rated version.
Sumami, are you talking you made your own fry bread? Fry bread, by the way, is one of the finest things you could ever possibly eat.
Yeah, Tsunami did mention fry bread earlier when you were asking about flour or corn tortillas.
I could go for some fry bread tacos. I haven't made those in a while.
The first time I had fry bread was at a powwow, and it was just absolutely heavenly.
Well,
Yeah,
what is
I've
fry
heard people
bread
say
made
that
from?
It's just
well, you take old French fries and you grind them up and mix them with eggs. No, I don't know.
usually it's just fried bread dough. Although you can also just like have your own like recipe for it.
I heard somebody classically overreacting when they're talking about cultural appropriation say that if white people make fry bread, they're culturally appropriating it. And it's like, dude, fuck you. Just fuck you.
That really gets overused.
I think
Yeah,
cultural
it sure does.
appropriation is just some of those things that's cultures mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Especially if they come into contact with each other and something new arrives. That's what the melting pot was.
I got attacked by a vegan the other day because I made a joke that was disrespectful to plants.
Huh?
Hey,
I don't even remember what it was. It was so unimportant to me. But they
It-
just freaked out because I would dare to tell a joke about plants in the middle of a discussion about veganism.
it is
I-
a truism that life feeds upon life. Vegetarians and vegans are just people who are committed to only eating life forms that don't try to run away.
Okay, I do have to come back to something though, because as someone who's Pennsylvania Dutch, powwow has a different meaning in Pennsylvania Dutch country.
Oh?
It's also the name for an esoteric faith healing tradition practiced by the Pennsylvania Dutch and parts of West Virginia as well. No one's really sure how that name came about. It's probably a corruption of how the settlers pronounced the German word, or how the German settlers pronounced the English word power.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like, I've got some books on it. It's like little chance. There's actually a movie on YouTube you can watch for free called Apprentice to Murder. That's about like the powwow doctors, and actually a real case that took place in Lancaster County in like the late 20s, I think.
Well, that's how I explain maps of the Midwest. Most of the place names, I think, were an English map maker trying to write down what a French explorer told them one of the natives said it was called.
Well, Terre Haute just means high ground. And it's French, so.
In Wisconsin, there's this nice little place off of Lake Winnebago near Oshkosh that's called Lake Butamore. Translate that sometime.
Look, as far as the French go, I think the only example you need is Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Why would they string together 3 vowels and then pronounce one that isn't there?
You mean like plateau?
How about Prairie
Well,
du Chien?
Eau Claire, Wisconsin is EAU and it's pronounced O.
Prairie du Chien means a field of cats, doesn't it?
Well, I told people how to get a field of cats. If you've got a neighbor you really want to annoy, just seed their lawn with catnip so all the stray cats will hang out there.
And Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, foot of the lake.
Well, I really hope just Canada renames all of the Great Lakes.
Did you hear that? I believe it was Britain publicly said that they refuse to acknowledge Donald Trump's Gulf of America.
Well,
Good for
you know,
them.
I've been doing a lot of searching on Google and all that, trying to get information for this island thing I've been working on, and all of it comes up as Gulf of Mexico.
I think Donald Trump honestly thinks the world has to bow to his whims, and they just don't.
Yeah.
He's not the leader of the world.
I believe the first recorded use of Gulf of Mexico is like 1536. So that's pretty much what it is. You know, I don't
So
care
It
what
goes back
Donald
a
Trump
long
says.
time.
Is like Trump renaming the Gulf of Mexico another example of Trump cheating the Gulf?
Next thing you know, that asshole's going to decide that we should rename the Earth to Mars because it's a cooler sounding name.
Well, Mexico isn't even a Spanish word. It is actually the word that the natives were calling their own land by when the conquistadors arrived.
Oh.
So the name probably goes back 1,000 years or more.
Well, considering the way things are going, and we seem to be becoming a planet of idiots, maybe we'll either be named Planet Trump or Planet Spango. Let's see if anybody gets that reference.
No, I don't get it.
I think Donald Trump's cognitive decline is getting worse, which is why he's getting more angry and unstable.
It was from a comedy, Mom and Dad Save the World.
I was thinking it
I
might be
never
for
saw
like
that one.
Buckaroo Banzai Adventures Across the Eighth Dimension, but
The two parents go get pulled to another planet called Spango.
You know, I always wanted to see the earlier versions of, you know, Buckaroo Banzai, and what about the 5th through the 7th dimension?
Buckaroo Banzai. Hey, nice pants.
The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension.
Where's my pants?
And don't tug on that. You don't know what it's connected to.
Is that the one that says like shit moves fast on this planet, Monkey Boy?
Yeah.
Laugh while you can, Monkey Boy. John Lithgow.
All right.
I'm going to give a 1 minute warning to Jenny. In approximately 60 seconds, I'm going to do a bibbly boo. Okay?
Oh, okay. Thanks. Okay, I'm ready.
But don't let me distract you from your enticing and interesting conversation. You must continue to speak.
I can semi-multitask. I can pretend I'm multitasking, but I don't actually do it.
I can do that also. We're 30
You're British, you cannot.
Yeah, I can.
Humans are not actually very good at multitasking.
Yeah, actually, these days my brain is like not good at monotasking because I'm not getting enough sleep.
Sorry to hear that, Purple.
Well, it's just every day this week. For some reason, I've had to get up early, which does not mean I've been falling asleep any earlier. It just means that I've only been getting half as much sleep.
I am so happy. Complete side note here. My pulse has finally responded to my amiodarone thoroughly, and my pulse is back down into the 40s.
Oh, good.
40s and 50s.
So you're in a normal range and more stable.
Well, the 40s gets people nervous, but
oh yeah, I mentioned that
one.
Okay, so I'm going to award 10 points, and this is for the oldies out there. I don't think the youngsters will get this because you guys were talking about language, and you were being specifically mean about the French people. So, your question for 10
Isn't that what the French are for?
The French are people?
That's racist. For 10 internets, buzz if you know the answer. Who famously said, the problem with the French is that they haven't got a word for entrepreneur?
Margaret Thatcher.
T-Dog.
T-Dog. Are you calling Thatcher T-Dog?
No, I'm calling Trump T-Dog.
Oh,
Vanilla
okay.
Ice.
Works. It works. Thatcher, Trump, whatever.
I'm pretty sure I have a word for entrepreneur. It's called guillotine. Someone got that.
And I'm so glad you pronounced it correctly. That there's been such a rush on people wanting to say guillotine, and it's like just
Guillotine.
Wait. Guillotine isn't just another flavor of Ovaltine?
It is. It's a very biting flavor.
Mhm. It's a bit more sharp.
So, Jenny, would you say that the guillotine would be an appropriate punishment for people who mispronounce that instrument as guillotine?
Yes, it would. I think we should have portable guillotines in every downtown area, and just bring them to the next street corner that you need it at. Boy, that was a
I
bad
would say they
sentence.
should be in every corner store, to be honest.
Come on. Let's not lose our heads over this.
Okay, I'm blocking you.
That was a heavy comment.
Sloths in the
Whoa! Nice
You
one.
stuck your neck out on that one.
Oh, fuck's sake, we are going down a really bad fucking avenue right now.
I do still have Sloth Girl Proxy here with me. You know, she took the trip with me down to the Ark Encounter protest.
You know, back in the ancient days like that, when they would take a so-called criminal and they would whack their heads, and why didn't they just like whack them halfway up the femur? They would be a problem anymore. Never mind.
No, actually, they did things like that too.
Oh, okay.
That
Okay.
was more part of the Islamic law that if you were caught stealing, they chopped off your hand.
Wait, why would I want to say aluminum was cool? He doesn't pronounce it correctly.
Okay, so somebody in side chat, whose name I will not mention, has issued a challenge. By the way, nobody answered my fucking question.
So aluminium does make more sense when you look at the word.
So the answer to my question, so nobody won the prize, George W. Bush. Okay, right. Now, on matters more pressing, challenge accepted. Go for it, guys. I know how to say this word correctly. It's not my fault that you uncultured, colonized people can't say words. Not my problem. Go for it.
My understanding is
what word
is aluminum was actually the original pronunciation, and
Well, they came out around the same time, but if you really want to get into technicality, aluminium actually came a little bit first, just beforehand. But they're about the same time.
A lot of American spellings and pronunciations originated with Noah Webster, who felt that American needed a distinct language after the Revolutionary War. Not to be confused with Daniel Webster, the famous lawyer.
Okay, this is a perfect example of how you must learn and accept that you're wrong. Yeah? Because I know I'm wrong. I understand history, and Jenny does, and Purple does. Because a weird thing happened over here in the Britain land. We did speak the English, and then the French did a thing, and then we fucked up all our words. But you fuckers had already gone on your ships, so you took our language with you. So in a way, and I hate saying this so much, I really fucking hate it so much. Please don't clip this or show anybody this. In a way, but this is an example. You learn to accept the fucking truth. In a way, fuck me, this is painful. In a way, the Americans are speaking proper fucking English. There you go. I said it. True.
If anybody takes the time to look up the periodic table of the elements, they will find in the transitional metals sections that almost all of the metals are IUM.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Would that include platinum?
No, platinum does not have an IUM.
I think he meant plutonium.
And
No, I meant
plutonium does have an
platinum.
IUM.
but it's not a transitional metal as far as I know.
Oh, we're getting sexy and technical. Jenny, what was the famous song? I think is it a Rodgers and Hammerstein one where they sing the famous periodic table song?
Not Rodgers and Hammerstein.
Gilbert and Sullivan?
Yes, that's it. Gilbert and Sullivan.
There you go. Well done. Yeah. And so, Jenny, 1, 2, 3, go.
I don't sing, thank you. All right, I got a dad joke. You ready?
Oh, more dad jokes.
Is anyone ever ready for these?
No, probably not. What do mechanics and lesbians have in common? Now, those of you who saw this, no fair answering.
I'm not sure.
What do mechanics and lesbians have in common?
I'm sure it has something to do with the dipstick, but that's as much as I can make out.
No.
I want to say greasy men masturbating, but I'm guessing that's one.
Snap-on tools.
Oh, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus. I honestly thought you'd grown up.
I haven't. No, thank you.
You're only young once. You can be emotionally immature forever.
This is true.
Well, hey, if I'm going to make it to 100, I can't act like I'm more than 20 now.
I'm not sure I want to make it to 100 with the way things are going right now.
No, who the fuck wants that?
Well, I do just because, I would like to have as much time after transitioning as I had before, but then I've got to make it to, almost 120.
I'm okay with making 100 because most of my family that's made it that far remains in pretty good mental condition. We creep out physically like anybody else, but mentally we're still there.
Yeah, I mean, I only have one relative that I know had dementia, so. And even she wasn't that bad towards the end. She knew who I was 2/3 of the time. But also, it's like she wanted. I felt bad because, towards the end, she really just wanted to go, but was being forced to hang on.
Yeah,
if she had proper dementia, she would not say she wanted to go. She would annoy the fuck out of you every second of your life. I've just invented the term proper dementia.
My grandfather had dementia near the end, and just his last visit, my grandmother's last visit with him was one of his more lucid moments. And while he didn't come out and say it, I really had the impression that he was just asking her if it was okay for him to go, and he went a couple of days later.
But my the grandmother that had dementia was 95. She had outlived one of her sons, all of her family.
Yep.
She was just ready to go.
My grandfather was 92 when he went. My mother's 94 now, and she's still going.
But she was not it was progressing, but she wasn't that bad. She wasn't full blown all the time yet. So sometimes she knew who I was. Other times it's I got confused with Uncle Dennis. Most of the time I got confused with one of my gay cousins, Kenny.
I'm afraid that people are going to accuse me of having dementia just because I've got such a bad case of the facial blindness that I don't recognize people now.
No, I know we all saw that Trump executive order where he's trying to recriminalize homelessness.
Yeah.
Trying. He already has.
Well, it's
and that's how they're going to deal with you and I.
It's an executive order, so it doesn't have the force of law, and it has to have states enforce it. So it's going to depend on which state you're in. And and if they want to fund it, because he didn't fund it.
The tragedy of the particular executive order is that they can declare anything they want to be a mental illness. And that's how they're going to get you and I.
Yeah, well, and
Yeah, just about.
they said something in there about being able to forcibly put people into rehabilitation centers.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
reading the way it reads, a lot of these states, even like the deep red ones, no longer have these hospitals or facilities. So they have
Yeah,
them.
but you want to bet that a
Well, are
lot
they
of
going to rebuild
these
them?
private prisons are suddenly going to have rehabilitation centers in them.
Yeah, quote and quote marks there.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to. I don't think, since he's leaving this up to the states are going to rebuild these expensive facilities.
No, but
Now,
that's why I'm
privatized
saying that.
prisons are another thing, but the
Yeah,
Fuck.
way it's worded,
private corporations will, have some proxy of a facility, just so that they will send more people in there for them to have the slave labor,
I'd
and for the state
completely
to pay them
forgotten
for the
about this
number of
one.
inmates.
Oh, it's a
I
relatively
totally-
recent. It's
I
Trump's
totally
attempt to
forgotten.
turn America back into 1950s America again, for getting no one really wants 1950s America again.
The red hat people do want 1950s America
No,
because they look at the world through nostalgia goggles.
yeah,
And obviously 1950s America was not fucking brilliant.
they don't
say
want
that-
in many ways.
1950s America. They want what they saw on the TV show Happy Days.
I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay
Yeah,
with that.
back when there was only one black kid in all of Milwaukee.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
There was never only one black kid in all Milwaukee. Milwaukee has a very long history of black people in it.
Well, that's what I mean. That they don't want the real 50s. They want Happy Days.
They want the sanitized version of what they saw in the movies and on TV, where everybody was white, and if you accidentally lynched a black person, yeah, whatever, that was okay.
So I'm thinking of a Welsh word here, oddly enough, called Hiraeth, which honestly I have a hard time wrapping my head around because of
this should be fun. Are you going to try to do Welsh?
I'm not going to try to pronounce Welsh. No one can pronounce Welsh.
Okay. Sounds expected. I want you to do it.
But the word's meaning is idealized longing, usually for Wales, about a place that existed only in your mind or may have never existed. And I think the 50s they want to go to is like a version of that.
Say the word again, please.
Hiraeth, there's a Romanian similar word, but Hiraeth specifically means longing for Wales.
Okay.
Which is the part I just don't get.
Yeah, okay. Theo, you said, that you forget everyone's name like 3 to 5 years of not having to seen them. I will forget people's names like 3 to 5 days of not having seen them.
But
it depends on your relationship. I mean, I went to my 50th high school reunion, and there was a whole bunch of people. Almost everybody there, I knew their name.
Really? I mean, I have a lot of names from my high school I never want to see again.
Well, they all happen to be that too, but I still knew their name. They just didn't know mine.
I mean, I've looked up 3 people. 2 of them I just looked up to see where they were. I was happy to see one was in prison for drug possession.
Popeyes, I'm very disappointed in you.
Yeah, I got invited to the 40th anniversary of my high school graduating class. And just as soon as I saw what it was, my only thought was, I didn't want to talk to these people when I was in high school. Why would I go to this now?
And one of my
the only reason I went to my high school reunion was to just say fuck you because I transitioned, and then none of them had a clue because they hadn't seen me in 50 years.
And one of my bullies was now in prison for vehicular homicide.
And my joy was that so many of them married their high school sweethearts, so that I knew their wives too, and I could easily tell them that back in high school your husband used to torture me in the locker room, and I know how big his, or in his case little, his penis is.
Mm-hmm.
It was very gratifying.
Why were you disappointed in me? I didn't hear that one.
I wasn't disappointed at all. I was thrilled to death.
Well, every time one of those expensive, pointless sports cars or those pickup trucks that have made their exhaust extra loud go past, I always scream, "Sorry about your penis."
Yeah, I didn't want to. I was going to say, after I got out of high school, I never wanted to see most of those people again. Why would I go to the reunion? Unless all of a sudden they became like a billionaire or something that could rub it in their face.
Okay, whichever one you has the boot button, stop it.
Well, now we got two Jennies again, so I don't know which one to cancel.
Well, that's why I changed avatars.
I
The
bet
red
one
hair
of
is
them
my
is watching
current.
porn.
No one's booting you. You're just having a shitty system.
Yep. It is just a connection dropped for a bit.
Okay, I wanted to go back to Gilbert and Sullivan's discussion here.
Oh,
I
you're
looked it
so
up because
old, Jenny. Jenny, you're
yes.
so fucking old.
Yes, I am.
Gilbert and fucking Sullivan.
None
of the people on the intertubes know what the fuck you're talking about. You're alienating the viewers, Jenny. You have to be young and trendy.
Let Jenny go.
Is she going to play the piano?
And anyways, Bob, no, I'm not going to sing anything. I'm just going to read a number of them off to prove my point. Beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium, scandium, titanium, yttrium, zirconium, vanadium, chromium, manganese. See, it does change once in a while. But technetium, ruthenium, rhodium, palladium, cadmium, silver. See, it does change. Platinum, another weird one. Rhenium, hafnium.
Platinum is
and
weird.
It goes on and on. So it's aluminium.
Yeah, but you left out californium.
Well, you said there are exceptions, so
californium is not a transitional metal.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
It's an intensity or something like that.
California.
Well, we'd be looking at post-transitional metals, which about is not looking at aluminium, and there's 4 others.
Well, if you want to look at basic metals, there's aluminum, gallium, indium. Well, bismuth is in there too, but thallium and polonium. Well, no, polonium's just next to it. It's not quite. Livermorium.
Yeah, there's 4.
But californium is a synthetic element, and it only lasts for a few milliseconds.
Is it possible for anybody to say thallium without sounding like they've got a bit of the limperest accent?
Thallium.
Or just for some reason that always conjures up the gay stereotype.
Or
All right.
lithium.
Oh, was lithium the one? No, it wasn't lithium,
no,
was it? Look, I'm trying to keep on topic and be inclusive. What was the? I forgot already. I'm so old. What was the one you just said?
Something about lithium.
Lithium, was that the one that they gave to? Oh my god, my brain is so fucking old. The famous guy. Enigma, computers, World War II.
Alan Turing.
Thank you.
No, lithium is a drug that was still typically used in
what did they give to
diagnosis.
What did they give to Mr. Alan Turing?
Probably something similar to Depo-Provera.
All right, so I have a meme here that I thought was funny. Is it showing?
Okay.
Now it is.
Yep, Mage brought it up.
So if Mage has it, I can stop sharing. Yes, a tattoo doesn't turn someone into a gang member. Sorry, go ahead.
Mage was just highlighting the one you were sharing.
Yeah,
it
disappeared.
Oh,
yeah, once you stop sharing, that means it's not on the screen.
Yep. Yeah, Tsunami said they give it to bipolar people. I knew that they gave lithium for some mental conditions. I didn't know which conditions it was supposed to treat.
It can be really, really, really nasty. And in an overdose situation. We had one patient who went out on pass and came back OD'd on her lithium, and it was touch and go for a while. She was so out of it. It was just awful.
They gave it to me for a while, but so long ago I don't remember. I was having some weird side effects with it, and that was at the point that they decided that, well, that's not working, so we probably have the wrong diagnosis. But that was when they were thinking that I had bipolar.
I have heard other psychiatrists use it for a diagnostic tool.
All right, if you can share it again, Mage, I'll bring it up. A tattoo doesn't turn someone into a gang member any more than a shiny gold cross can turn someone into a Christian.
I like that. Could you send that to me, please?
Well, I won't say who, but I can think of a few people who that need to be treated with arsenic.
Yep.
All right, let's stop presenting.
Well, I think that with Trump's policies and the whole ICE thing, I think that they're just going to jump ahead and say that being arrested makes you a criminal.
Well, the problem is he is caught too easily in his lies.
Mm-hmm.
Like with Kilmar Abrego Garcia. They wanted to say he was a gang member, then they said he's a member of MS-13 because they photoshopped they didn't even use Photoshop, it was MS Paint, where they put MS-13 on his files.
God, that was so bad, wasn't it? How could they? Oh God!
So I can think of a few people probably already think that if you get arrested, you're a criminal.
Well, remember, we don't need the National Weather Service because we can change the path of storms with Sharpie markers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Is that before or after you nuke them?
Before or after you what them?
Nuke them.
Yeah, but those Democrats keep changing the weather with their weather machines.
I know.
No. That's
cheeky
all
bastards.
controlled by the Jewish space lasers.
See, that's why conspiracy theorists need to stop making the people they hate sound so awesome.
Yep.
They want me to hate these people, and they make me want to join them.
The weather controls all the Rothschilds.
While space lasers and getting control of the world's financial institutions, it's like, yeah, I'll convert for that. It's like, these people really need to think about the way they make the people they hate sound.
Well, I would convert for that, but they were only offering peanut butter cookies, and I'm not big on peanut butter.
Especially 23-year-old peanut butter. I tried that, by the way. That shit is as hard as a rock.
Okay.
You can't even put it on a hot bun. It tears it to shreds.
It sounds like the seal leaked slightly.
No, it did not.
No.
It was one of those nice seal top things, and
I was wondering how that was going to be like.
yeah, I can probably eat it because I didn't get sick. It's been a few days, but it is. I think I'm going to nuke it before I actually try to spread it on anything.
I wouldn't eat that. The fats can break down and become rancid.
That's what I was wondering, if maybe there was just a pinhole leak, and through all
Oh
that time,
my bad! Sorry,
just a tiny bit of air getting in to make it go rancid.
To bring the chat up to date, I was given a jar of peanut butter, creamy style store brand, at my local food bank, and I'm very appreciative of the food bank, and I love them, and I'm not criticizing them at all. But expired foods, as we know, for some foods it's just not a problem, and I'm sure they thought that peanut butter would be just fine. It's 23 years old.
I bet that thing in some old lady's pantry for 20 years.
Well, it could also just be a printing error.
It is not a printing error. It's just not. That is the most complex possible error you could pick on a product like that. One out of an entire line of them, and why wouldn't it have been a recall? Because they recall for a label that is fixed badly. No, it's not a misprint.
Yeah, but I don't think peanut butter is one of those foods that never goes bad, though. Like, honey won't spoil, and neither will apple cider vinegar.
Peanut butter can go bad. I've never had it go bad on me before, but it can.
Oh, I said it can go bad, but it's not. I said it's not a food that doesn't spoil.
Yeah,
There
it
are
doesn't
some
spoil
foods
very
that do
long.
spoil.
Well, like I said, I had ate it several days ago, and I haven't gotten sick. It was just not. It was just not a pleasant experience.
I guess some things will never change.
I would make peanut butter cookies out of it.
Always Americans. Peanut butter. Peanut butter. No.
It's an excellent source of protein and very affordable for people who are low income still.
Yeah,
I've
so it's
also
dog shit.
Do you know another thing? There's another thing I've heard never changes. Do you know what that is? War. War never changes.
Oh, he's going to do a song. Go on.
No,
Go for
man,
it. Do your
that's
song.
pretty
Get your guitar. Come on.
I
Do
think
your
maybe
protest song.
I don't want to set the world on fire by the ink spots. Sorry, I'm the only Fallout fan here.
Ink spots.
Oh, I thought you were going to do a
only
protest song about Vietnam, but okay.
Who, me?
Whoever was talking. I'm blind. I can't see. Jenny,
What did I do this time?
you did all the things badly.
Wait.
It'd be a shorter list if we listed the stuff that you didn't do.
So, aren't the British ones that gave us Marmite, or is that Vegemite? Because one's Australian.
No,
Don't blame me for Australia.
okay.
Vegemite is Australian.
So
You
it's
have to
Marmite.
realize when Jenny says, "What did I do?" she's wondering if you might have a suggestion that had slipped her mind.
No, I'm just wanting to find out if you have film.
It's
16
always
mil.
about the cameras for you, isn't
Jenny.
it?
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Jenny,
it's about evidence.
you talking film? Yes, I have the evidence, and it's on 8mm film. Okay.
Ooh,
Picture it didn't happen.
Super 8 or
Oh, damn
regular
it. I got the mowers here. I'll be right back. I got to close the windows.
You didn't answer the question. Super 8 or regular 8?
Super 8, no, because that was shit.
No, it wasn't. Super 8 was a brilliant idea. They made made the notches smaller and increased frame size.
Yeah, but I'm posh.
I think he was referring to the movie Super 8.
Is this another porn movie? I don't want to know.
No, it was a horror sci-fi movie.
Yeah, starring Ron Jeremy, no doubt.
No.
For those in the chat who are just young people and don't have this experience, 8mm film is literally 8mm wide, and original designs
Jenny,
had single set of
time.
perforations on one side of the film, and which drove the thing through the camera. And when they came up with you had to load it individually in a semi-dark area because it was an open reel of raw film, and they invented Super 8 because they could put it in a cartridge. It was the same dimensions, but to increase the frame size, to call it Super, they made the holes a little bit smaller, and so they had space to increase the frame size. And they put it in a cartridge, so all you have to do is drop it in instead of worry about light exposure. It was really quite brilliant.
You've just lost all the viewers.
Thank you. I try.
Now do Umatic. I dare you.
Umatic?
Pneumatic? That sounds like a bad way to make...
See, I'm talking to people who are so fucking young that they haven't got a clue about the words that I use.
It sounds like compulsory eugenics.
Well, pneumatic is just hydraulics involving air.
Oh, pneumatics.
U. The letter U.
Oh, you? Okay, I have no idea what that is.
Dash matic.
Yeah, I've never heard of that either.
Okay, Jenny, I win.
Okay, fine. I'll send you the money. But you got to tell me what pneumatics is.
No, there's no S on the end, you prick.
Oh, what pneumatic is?
Yeah. Google it.
No.
I can't. I'm not going to bore all these young people with my fucking nerdiness.
Oh, God.
I'm just not going to do it. Anyway,
Fine,
I'll derail.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up.
Continue your conversation.
Goddamn British people.
An analog recording in video cassette format.
Mage.
An analog recording?
You really worry me, Mage. Your Google foo is fucking creepy.
You say that again. It was an audio recording.
Jesus.
Basically, a format for video cassettes.
Oh, okay. They're equivalent of a VHS versus a beta or something like that.
Oh my God, you are so dumb. Jenny, I don't like you anymore.
Honey, maybe what you're not aware of, Stool, is that the English television standard is Euro, or PAL actually, PAL, and the American standard is NTSC, and they are not compatible. Okay, and so we have VHS and beta, and you have whatever, and they're not interchangeable. Period.
That was fucking decades ago, you old person. None of that shit is relevant anymore.
Well, then why did you bring it up?
Because I'm fucking trying to fucking talk to the. I'm trying to be an influencer. I'm engaging with the young kids.
Well, I'm influenced. Now I have to go and vomit. Thank you.
Okay.
No, I meant pee. I meant pee. I don't have to vomit. I have to go pee, and I'll be right back.
If it makes you feel any better, the first camera ever used took 126 film.
Who said that? Who said that?
The porpoise did.
Okay, fair enough. My eyes are really bad. Oh, there you go, porpoise. Go on, say again.
Cameras, like Kodak made them. The older, they had 110, but before that they made 126 cartridges. So the first camera ever used Kodak 126 film.
Yeah, okay. I've got nothing to say to that. Purple? Purple's doing a poo. Jenny's doing a poo. I guess I'm in charge. Unfinished Journey.
Yes.
My good friend. I've never really met you before. I lurked and I saw you on one of these streams. I don't get to watch these streams very often. You seem like a weird person.
Thank you.
And that's a compliment. Because I have very little patience for annoying, I'm going to say annoying fuckers. My thinking has always been with regards to this whole streaming nonsense. It should be a group of people in a pub just talking. No agendas, no bullshit. You know. Imagine, if you will. I know you can't imagine it because you're not British, but and I can't imagine it because I was going to mention pubs, but they're not even a thing anymore in this country. This country is so fucked. You sit at a table with...
There's pubs here in the States.
Oh, yes. I've been to a pub in the States. I got kicked out. But admittedly, that was in...
the closest one to me, the name of the pub is The Local.
Oh, is it not called an Irish pub?
No, it's called The Local.
Okay, that's a bit cheeky.
Yeah.
So one of my famous boring stories back in, I think it was 97, I can't remember, and I'm doxing myself here. I'm very young, so I might be making this up, but
right. I know you've colored your beard gray.
Well spotted. You're very observant. It cost me a lot of money to do this.
Right now he is Stool the Gray, but after he fights the Balrog, he'll come back as Stool the White.
You don't realize, before I go live, I have to spend half an hour in makeup, applying the grey and putting on the bald cap and all that shit. It's hard work. This is why I appreciate people who... No, that's another thing. Anyway, so I went to this pub in, it was somewhere in California, IA. It may have been called The Local Pub, I forget. And it was in the 90s. And I was very drunk, obviously. And we went into this pub, and on the tables that we were sitting around, they had ashtrays. And stupidly, I lit a cigarette to use the fucking ashtray. And I got escorted out of the building. Because you can't smoke in California.
That's actually pretty much true nationwide.
Yeah.
Now,
Well,
It
There
is
was
now,
a-
yeah, but in those days it was very weird. You literally, I hate that word, but literally can't smoke anywhere here in the UK. I'm exaggerating, obviously. But back in those days, to have a cigarette in a pub, which is a kind of British thing to do, and then to be kicked out and have to stand outside in the naughty corner. Cigarette. Anywho,
I miss not being able to have a meal at a restaurant and have a cigarette afterwards. And I know it's annoying for other people, and that's why I'm pro no smoking in restaurants and bars and stuff. But I miss it. I admit that.
Mhm.
yeah,
I'm with
there
you.
was a scandal involving that, about 20 odd years ago when they refurbished the state capitol in St. Paul because they wanted to, bring it back to its original look. So they spent $50,000 each on these brass ashtrays, even though it was illegal to smoke in public buildings.
Well,
I
that's
agree.
pretty insane.
I think for the benefit of the people in the UK, because we've now discussed a thing that is for people who are over the age of 18. So might have to do a disclaimer.
Which is nobody here.
I know, but we now have to prove our ID before we can talk about these matters. I love my country.
Wait a minute. I've got to know what the calculation is for cats, otherwise I can't let you say it in front of Ethan.
So for the benefit of the future people who might be watching this, PSA, even though you I'm going to say a bad word, Purple, I'm sorry. I'm not American, but what do you call it? PBS? PBR, that thing.
Yep.
What the fuck? Anywho, PSA to all the people in the future who are watching, smoking is very bad. Never fucking do it, ever. Just don't fucking do it. But for the people who are very old, not me, obviously, because I'm like
12.
Thank you. Just don't do it. But if you're an old person who's been on the planet for a very long time, and you maybe need to do it, don't judge us. Like Jenny said, we miss that thing where we could have a cigarette after a meal and all that. Give us a special space, a compound, guarded by people on towers with guns. Big towers and a big sign over the entrance. All that shit.
When Wisconsin first came up with its no smoking laws, they made an exception for bars and restaurants that if they had added on another room or a section of their facility that had positive ventilation, that everything in the room would go out and not to the rest of the restaurant or bar, that they would allow smoking in that location. But nobody took it up. It was expensive to build a positive pressure room.
Actually, I remember a number of restaurants, actually I think most of the Perkins chain, that they basically wound up putting up glass walls around, as a partition around part of it, so that the smoke could not go over to the other diners.
Mm.
There was an outdoor cafe I used to know that when the whole ban thing came around, they wouldn't even let you smoke outside on the sidewalk. And I told them to fuck off because my table is sitting here on the public sidewalk. You cannot legislate me.
Well, part of the ban was that, along with not being able to smoke inside these buildings, you also were not supposed to be able to smoke within like 50 feet of the entrance.
Yeah.
Indiana's
I've
wasn't.
got another one for the old people in the audience. So maybe this
Okay,
was
well, I will not admit to being old nor a people.
I'm not old. I've read
Well,
about this.
I'm a people, just not human. Okay.
I'm not. I'm
That's
also
because
a
you're a sweet
people.
young thing.
I'm also a people, and I'm not old. Unverified as fucking clocked me. He knows I'm young, so.
Hey, I'm trying to get young enough that I won't
Do you remember?
won't gross people out if I wear things with an exposed midriff.
I'm guessing this probably happened in your land, but if you went to the cinema, if that's the correct word, the place
No,
where
it's
you
a
watch
theater here.
movies, and if you sat on the left side, you could smoke. If you sat on the right side, you could not smoke, because this is science, and Porpoise will back me up on this. This was science in the olden days. There was an invisible wall that blocked the smoke.
Oh, well, that's creative.
Why would I back you up on that?
Because the olden days were fucking stupid. We had invisible walls where the nicotine and the cancer couldn't get through.
Was that like one of those, like a forced air curtain?
It was like buzzes.
All right, I want you to prove that holds true to some integer up to k, then show that it will also hold true for k plus 1. Then I'll accept that. Be sure to include your base cases.
It also has to work for n and np.
No, you don't have. You shouldn't have to do a proof by induction to prove that.
Stool, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I know you get it, Jenny.
No,
What
actually,
am I saying? I'm just being difficult because it's.
Jenny,
Yeah.
I got really bored because you have to be over a certain age to understand what the fuck I'm talking about. The youngsters inside chat have no fucking clue what I'm talking about.
Because computer science is not a hard science. It's an offshoot of mathematics.
Well, Stool, you need to be honest with the chat. Admit to them that you're only 38 years old, but you've smoked and drank for so many years, you look older.
I'll go with that. Or I would have done if it was not for, I'm going to do a Scooby-Doo here. If it wasn't for unmask, unverified. He unmasked me.
Wait a minute, you forgot the blah, 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 blah.
when Slothgirl was 58, I put a 29 on her cake because it was the 29th anniversary of her 29th birthday. So I always said she was 29 and no awkward questions about how her daughter was older than she was.
That's
Tears in eyes. Tears in eyes. I'm secretly laughing.
For my next 10 years, I'm giving my age in hexadecimal.
That could work.
I'm creeping up fast on my 41st annual 30th birthday party. Well, birthday. I don't get to have parties.
Yeah, well, it's my birthday this year kind of bummed me out because Slothgirl was the only one who ever really, did anything for it. She threw some good parties for me. A couple of times she made a big deal out of it. One time she threw a dinosaur themed party for me. One time she threw a Lego themed party for me. She made the cake and she took a whole bunch of Lego minifigures and a dolphin and everything, and she made a beach scene out of Lego on the cake.
And this, by the way, thank you everybody for forgetting my birthday. But this is why I've always said, and Purple can back me up with this evidence, that I truly believe we should all. Am I so old that I've made the person go away? Have I broken something? Oh, it's because of my lovely beard. I still think it's a really good idea in principle, Perps, that we obtain an island. And now I've said island, and I wish I hadn't, because now that's a bad word to say. I wish I hadn't said that.
Island is fine. It's just that the recent connotation, I think you mean Epstein's Island.
I should not have said island. Damn it, my plan was really good.
Matt Pig was talking about that, that small island that was part of Ireland that's only been used as a cow pasture that he said was for sale at some point.
No fucking idea what you're talking about.
It's right next door to the Isle of Man. It's called the Isle of Cow.
Yeah, no.
The Isle of Cow.
This was a serious thing that Matt Pig brought up in one of his streams several months back.
Oh, okay.
That there was an island we could buy if we could all pool our money together.
Yeah.
In the North Sea?
Shouldn't have
Yeah,
used
that's
the
where I
word
want an island.
Well, no, it wouldn't be in the North Sea because it was off Ireland, so that's off the opposite side of the English Isles.
Okay.
Again, because I'm the grown-up in the room, I have to explain to Tusami, who's having a fucking stroke inside chat. There are different island, they're all different words, but they all sound the same, and it gets confusing.
You do live on an island, though.
Everybody lives on a fucking island.
No.
Yeah, we live on a proper continent here.
And your continent is surrounded by
other
water.
continents.
Look, our continent is so big that we've got lakes larger than your country.
Oh, really? You're going down that avenue, are you? Wow.
That's true.
They're not called the Great Lakes for nothing. Lake Superior is larger in area than Scotland.
Well, I live on a continental wang.
A what?
Continental wang.
A wang?
Florida.
What is a continental wang?
A wang.
Florida.
Okay.
It's the nation's penis.
Yep.
I'm going to hashtag that fucker. Ned's lived on a continental wang.
Yeah, Tsunami, I think you put a superfluous N in there. I think it was a peninsula.
And if Florida goes limp, is it called a continental drift?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Is this true, Mage? Do you actually live on the floppy part?
I live in Florida, yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't
Florida will
that.
never go limp. Down there you can get Viagra through a gumball machine.
I didn't know this was true.
Sumami, you did it. You did it, Sumami. You made me think of my very first lesson in Latin. Well, second actually, but my very second lesson in Latin. Britannia est insula. Gaul est pain insula. All right.
This sounds more like Star Trek, to be honest.
Quo usque tandem abure Catalina patientia nostra.
Mm-hmm.
Which was third year Latin for me, but
you remember your Latin much better than I do.
No, yeah, I just remember the phrases we had to learn and recite as the first line of each of those stories.
I can only remember I had to do Latin for 3 years. So technically, that makes me a doctor.
Well, that's okay. All she said was, Britain is an island, and I didn't catch the
Gaul.
Gaul is something, probably not an island.
Gaul is France, and it is a peninsula, technically. A very, 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 very large peninsula, but...
Yeah, well,
I'm going to have to...
I hadn't really thought of it, but if you look at the angle Florida hangs at, yes, it is hanging flaccid. That if it was erect, it should actually point northeast.
Well, I mean, that's just a way we orient the maps. I mean, how do we know?
Oh, the weird person is back. I didn't realize. Welcome back, weird person. I didn't realize you're back. You were back.
You finished your journey?
I thought I might have. I got really paranoid because I thought I might have broken your head.
No.
That's your mirror.
This is what happens when I join Purple Streams, because obviously it's kind of difficult for me because I can remember the old times when we colonized you and we made your lives better and we brought you language and food. and
Yeah,
smallpox and
It
all
was
those
so
wonderful
it
things.
was so great. We kicked your ass and told you to get out.
I'm pretty sure the Spanish brought smallpox here before you did.
Oh, challenge accepted. I will not accept that. No, we did it.
No, the Spanish did.
Fucking arguing. No, we
Because
fucking
the
did
Native
it.
American population was decimated by
Rule Britannia, Britannia
Wait,
rules the
Virginia.
waves.
Actually, it was Columbus, but the ships were sailing under Spanish flags. So, or were they? Or was it? No, yeah, it was Spanish
Well,
flag.
Columbus never made it onto the continent.
No.
But if you're saying that the Spanish brought smallpox here, does that mean that it's because the entire country got infested by Florida?
No, it's just when the conquistadors hit the New World, they brought smallpox with them, and it spread through.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. That the Spanish took Florida and it spread across the rest of the continent.
Yeah, but is Florida where they hit first?
Oh, I like this
Remember
guy.
the timeline because I thought Cortez was first.
Perps, I like this guy. Can we keep him?
they did hit more in what is currently Brazil first.
Because it would have gone through North and South America just because there were no resistance to it.
Yeah.
And they took syphilis back with them, they think. Well, they found syphilis cases before.
I was going to say, I thought syphilis was in Europe before that.
Stop blaming me for syphilis.
Okay, gonorrhea.
Oh, don't be syphilis. No, yeah, Stu.
Oh, really? Oh my God.
Uh-oh.
You know what? If I could actually speak words coherently, I'll give anybody 10 internets if you can say tsunami correctly, because I can't fucking say it.
Tsunami.
No.
Look on the pretty side. At least
what's the other word that? Sorry, Jenny. What's the other? There's a delay. I'm really sorry. What's the other word that you got pissed off about earlier? Say it.
I don't know.
Was
aluminum?
Aluminium?
No. New person with red shirt. Say the word that Jenny was pissed off about.
Hi.
I'll give you a clue. French.
Entrepreneur.
Oh, nice. Remember. Can we keep this person? I like this person.
Well, why would they have a word for entrepreneur?
I'll give you a clue. It involves heads.
Oh, guillotine.
Yeah, that's why I made the guillotine joke. He said there was no word for entrepreneur, and I was like, I'm pretty sure they do. It's called guillotine.
Anyhow,
yeah, Porpoise is on loan for the summer, but after school starts, we probably won't see much of her.
Before I go to empty my bladder, I'm going to leave you, and I'll be like 3 minutes because I'm old. I'll leave you with this final thought, temporarily. The French won the war for you. Discuss!
Yeah, no. That's valid.
Did they invent the trebuchet or just the word?
I'm not sure who invented it, but
as
far as the U.S. Revolutionary War, that we largely won it by Ben Franklin going to France and making deals for their help.
The trebuchet was first invented in China.
Tsunami, they also won our American Revolution, and they had a very, very strong influence on how World War II went. The French are a courageous people and people of freedom for a long, long time, and they're to be respected, even though we tease them from time to time.
Well,
I don't eat Liberty
half
fries.
of the French who didn't back Germany in World War II. You got to remember that the country literally, the population split in half for which side they were supporting.
Yeah, and I won't criticize them as an occupied country with guns to their heads.
No, it wasn't that. The Vichy French were supporting Germany before the occupation. It's part of why they won. there were so many people that were supporting the Germans that they kind of sabotaged their own army.
Yeah, we call them maggots today.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just saying they had that same kind of problem in France before the war started.
By the way, do we have any right wingers out there in the chat today?
Probably not.
Would you care to show yourselves?
But
I can guarantee an equally warm welcome from all of us as the one Jenny just gave you.
the main reason that the French helped us win the Revolutionary War was by keeping the British ships away. So it didn't take a lot of convincing to give the French a reason to shoot at the British ships. They pretty much, they were shooting at the British any chance they could get, and we gave them a good reason for it, so that they got to intercept the British merchant ships and confiscate their cargoes.
All right, so this is an unrelated question, but did any of you go to high schools that had the idea that once you were like whatever that high school's mascot was, you were always that high school's mascot? Like, let's say your mascot is, I don't know, the Vikings, once a Viking, always a Viking.
Yeah.
Yeah, my problem with this sentiment is my high school's mascot was the Black Panthers.
Well, it's a respectable history.
Oh, that was my elementary school's mascot.
And honestly, it's just, you really wouldn't associate the Black Panthers, if you know history, with a small Pennsylvania town.
Yeah.
That's full of mostly white people.
When I was in high school, our mascot was the Knight. We were the Madison Knights. But in junior high school at John Burroughs High School, our mascot was a tree stump.
A tree
The
stump?
university I'm attending right now as a master's student has these nicknamed the Sycamores.
John Burroughs was a contemporary of John Muir and those sorts of people. Naturalist.
But apparently it only got that nickname because the students voted on that as a joke when it became more than a teacher's college, and they never thought it would pass.
Oh, so kind of like Bodie McBoatface?
Oh, yeah. I love Bodie McBoatface.
Where I started high school, the mascot was the Trojans.
Whoa!
Yeah, so yeah, you can guess. Yeah, you put a couple hundred teenage boys in a building that says Trojans all over the place. You can guess where that goes.
Did they have any pregnancies?
Only if it breaks.
So I grew up. I grew up in Athens, Georgia, and I went to a small private school, and playing on the legacy of ancient Greek history, which the rest of the town of Athens did. Athens Academy had the mascot the Spartans, which is kind of funny if you know anything about Athens and Sparta.
Yeah, there was a high school in Michigan whose mascot was the Nimrods. Which, I know that in the Bible, he was some kind of great hunter or something. But thanks to Bugs Bunny, that had a whole different meaning to everyone else, and I don't know why they never changed the name.
Can I interject?
Yes, you just did.
Thank you. Yeah, I kind of did, yeah. Oh, you're clever.
If you do use an exclamation point instead of a period, that's the main difference.
So, I'm not clever enough to understand that kind of history. That's not my kind of thing. But I picked up, in my defense, I was doing a piss, so I missed a lot of the conversation. But you said Spartans. So, Jenny, are you ready for this one?
No, but go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to do another thing for the old people. So this involves, I'll just say it.
Who's old here?
Let me do my thing.
In my time.
So tell me.
Hey,
like-
I'm
Let
66.2
me do my
million
thing.
years.
Let
Okay,
me do my
Purple,
thing.
you count.
Okay.
Jenny will understand. She'll get it. Jenny's the only person who gets me. So, tell me, do you like watching gladiator movies?
No. No, I did when I was a kid because they got to wear skirts, but other than that, no.
Sidetrack,
Surely you
come
must
on.
be joking.
There must be somebody who's old here.
Surely you must be joking.
I got that.
Yes,
Well,
yes. It's a porn
the
reference.
concept of Ben-Hur kind of got me interested, but
I even set up the line and no one's doing it.
Oh, do it again. I missed. Go on.
Surely you must be joking.
don't call me
I'm not
Shirley.
joking, and don't call me Shirley. Poys, no, I'm going to deduct internet points from you because no. You had to do the hospital one.
Did you see that they're coming out with a remake of The Naked Gun, except with Liam Neeson?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, I'm conflicted on this. Jenny, you answer first if you don't mind, and then the new person with the red jumper on can go second. Jenny, what's your opinion on that thing?
On which thing?
The remake. What
I think it's fine. I think Liam Neeson might be a lot of fun in that role.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I do agree with you. Yeah, I think he's the perfect.
I mean, that particular movie genre, I find somewhat tedious and inane, but
I'm
that's
blocking
part
you.
of its attraction.
Blocking you. Okay, let's move on to guy in red jumper. What your opinion on this this new thing? Do you think that Liam Neeson would be a good replacement for you know who?
Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah.
I think. I think he's.
Do you think?
I think he's good in the sense that Leslie Nielsen never really did comedy before he did Airplane.
Correct. Yeah.
And I see Neeson as having a similar kind of history and being able to bring a deadpan style of comedy.
Okay, so here's my I appreciate your input on that.
Liam Neeson does have some experience in slightly comedic acting because he was in the, I think it was like 2010's A-Team movie where he played Hannibal. And that was not a serious movie.
Here's the dilemma. Never mess with something that's perfect.
Well, remakes are never good.
Is that why no one will touch me?
No, that's because you're busy watching porn.
I don't watch porn.
Remakes are usually not as good as the original. There are some exceptions to that.
No, the rule is they're never going to be better than the original.
Well, if any luck, it could be the movie A Star Is Born and have 10 or 20 remakes of it.
But if you take an absolute statement like never, you can prove it wrong with one exception where the remake is better than the original. Like the remake of Battlestar Galactica was better than the original.
Yes, absolutely. 1,000 times yes.
New boy's happy. So imagine this scenario, right? You're a poor person and we haven't invented streaming services or anything. Okay. So the new movie, the new Airplane movie is in the cinema. Would you pay dollars to go and watch it based on the fact that that you're old enough to have watched the original when it was released?
What year did that come out?
79, I do believe.
No, I wouldn't have paid anything when I was 2 years old.
Wait a minute. What movie came out in 79?
No. The question was, fuck me, you are all so stupid. The question was...
You asked incorrectly. I was technically old enough to have gone to see it in the theater.
Posh, I don't like you anymore. I'm going to block. So the question was, based on what we as... Purple, I'm really sorry. Sorry, Purple, I love you. I've fucking broken your stream again. I'm really sorry. I don't mean to do this. So the question was, you're old enough. You saw the original 79. maybe you saw it on TV. So now, in the future, Jenny, thank you. She's my sound effects person. I pay her $5. Okay, I'm going to try again. Today, the movie is released in the cinemas. There's no fucking streaming services whatsoever. You've seen the first one. Would you pay real dollars to walk to a cinema and watch it?
I don't even know what movie you're talking about.
Oh my fucking God, you don't fucking
If you go to see Airplane today, if it were re-released, I think.
No, that the Naked Gun remake is what we're talking about. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, am I that shit that nobody understands what I'm talking about?
Or are you suggesting that Airplane gets remade with Liam Neeson?
Oh, that is what I was. Yeah.
Well,
I
the
got
Zucker
mixed
brothers
up.
are still around. They could write a new version. They were my neighbors. by
See,
the way.
Naked Gun came out
So
in
then-
like the late 80s.
So,
early 90s,
am
something
I
like
confused
that.
about? Am I confused on this one? Because I'm
Yeah.
thinking that
Mhm.
the new
Mhm.
movie is
Mhm.
Airplane.
Well,
No, the new movie is Naked Gun.
so
Is it?
Gun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh
Which
my God! I'm
also
sorry.
starred Leslie Nielsen in the original.
Oh my God! I love
Leslie
Naked Gun.
Nielsen was in the original. Yes, he's also in Airplane.
Police Squad.
Yeah. I think in
Yep.
general, I don't like them doing remakes because the remakes are rarely very
I'm
good.
sorry, my brain's farting. Leslie Nielsen was not in Airplane.
Yes,
That
he
was
was.
Yeah,
Was
it
he?
was. Uh-huh.
He's
Yes.
a doctor.
Oh,
I think he worked in a
Okay.
hospital.
No, that's
No, he was a doctor.
that's from
Just
Naked
fucking
Gun.
queued the joke up for you there.
A hospital? What is it?
It's a big building with patients, but that's not important right now. Yeah, we're awesome.
But honestly, I don't think you could do. I don't know if Airplane would have the same. I mean, there were certain jokes in Airplane that just didn't land because there was too much other zaniness going on. Like there's a scene where a spear just drops out of the sky and watermelon. But
Porpoise, personal question, if you don't mind.
42.
Did you just read my mind?
well, that's pretty easy.
Well-
There's this big hole there that.
Fuck you.
Well, I was getting,
Airplane would also have-
I was getting 69, but I think I was reading Jenny's mind.
Oh,
Oh, it's my fault again.
Airplane would also have the problem with the O.J. Simpson movies wouldn't land the same as they did then.
O.J. Simpson was in Airplane, yeah.
Was he? I thought that was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yes, he was.
I thought it was O.J.
No, Kareem was his co-pilot.
I mean, they could have both been in it, but Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was the co-pilot.
No,
This-
O.J.
yeah.
was just a passenger on the plane.
No, this is all incorrect. Okay, side chat. What is happening and future people from 100 years hence? What we're doing now is talking about some very, very old movies that even the young people these days have no idea what the fuck we're talking about. But they're really funny movies. So we're getting slightly confused between Airplane and
Naked Gun.
Naked Gun. Thank you, little person with the red shirt. I love this guy. He helps me out.
I'm not that little.
And
Honestly,
well, you kind of look little to me.
to me, one of the funniest things in Airplanes were
Which part is little?
where Barbara Billingsley is telling the stories. Goes up and they're that like have these jive speakers and she's like, "Excuse me, stewardess, I speak jive." And no
That's
one
what I was thinking about that.
Why the significance of why it's Barbara Billingsley? Because
I know.
Okay,
she's-
Stool?
Yeah, I'm going to drop some truth bombs before you
Well,
interrupt me yet
No,
again.
I'm going to drop you a truth bomb that you have to remember. You're calling people little in here, but you have to remember that the entirety of the UK disappears every time I power down my computer.
Well, we could do science, Purple. So, little person with the red jumper, are you small or are you far away?
I'm
Well, to you, he's
In-
very far away because that's a couple thousand miles between you.
in terms of height, I'm 5'11". I'll let you figure out what that is in metric numbers.
About 2 meters.
Again, for the benefit of the young people, that was a cheeky reference to the popular television comedy from the 80s called Father Ted.
Yes, but
If you're not familiar with that,
familiar with
Google it.
Written by the most distasteful person in Britain.
Correct.
I don't think. Wait, did he actually surpass J.K. Rowling as distastefulness? In distastefulness?
Oh, look, I'm sorry that I colonized you. Don't fucking blame me.
No, I'm just curious. I mean, they're both pretty distasteful. Someone has to be on top. I mean,
I think.
Well, he
I think
can
they're
be the
secret
most
sex
distasteful
partners.
man, and JK can be the most distasteful woman.
Or you could just flip that around.
No, we're not going to transvestigate J.K. Rowling.
I would not be surprised if J.K. Rowling is a self-hating trans man. Based on
I don't want to go down this avenue because I'm British and I understand more about this than you lovely fuckers do. I say that with love, but I kind of understand more about this than any of you do.
Well,
and
listen,
I don't want to go there because it's not a happy conversation.
There's an American author that, if he were still alive, I would not support for his racism. But fortunately, he's dead and all his works are now in the public domain. And when we actually try to revisit his works, we try to say, hey, this wasn't acceptable, like they did with HBO's Lovecraft Country. See, when J.K. Rowling is too old and dead to profit from her works, I can support Harry Potter again.
Well, if you want to go
Nope. Incorrect.
Well, if you want to go with racist authors who are still alive, you can always go with Orson Scott Card.
When that person is long and dead, the JK person, she will still be receiving a lot of money. Not directly, obviously, because she's dead, but her estate. Am I boring you?
I just got something across my screen.
Look, if I'm boring you, just
this is important. This has to be shared.
Put the porn on if I'm boring you.
This is I'm going to read you the text of a new ad that the Trump administration has just put out. Big letters. America needs you. And below, America has been invaded by criminals and predators. We need you to get them out. You do not need an undergraduate degree. You may be entitled up to these benefits. $50,000 signing bonus. $60,000 student loan repayment. Choose your mission. Deportation officer. Okay. For the enforcers, for the brave, for those who fight to keep America safe. Criminal investigator. Yes. Criminal investigator, for the protectors, for the analytical, for those who seek the truth.
Oh my God.
General attorney, for the closers, for the resolute, for those who represent the USA. This is just full Gestapo. Holy fuck!
I mean, these. I
found one in the White House. Can I get my $50,000?
I think Jenny just summed that up very nicely by saying "holy fuck," because anybody who understands history knows what is happening here.
Yeah, that's scary as shit.
Well,
this is directly from the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
Fuck.
Everyone knows what's happening. It's just we let the wrong people. All right, I need to be quiet.
No, don't be quiet.
Because all for stripping voting rights away from MAGA for a while because they've shown they cannot use them responsibly.
Here's the thing, poor boys.
I should not be in charge of anything. I know.
No. You made an interesting comment there. I will just shut the fuck up. And that is why these fuckers are winning. Because they've done, I'm going to invoke history, I'm sorry, but they are so indoctrinating people, and they're making it so that anybody who has a sensible comment to make is the enemy. And that's a really dangerous thing. I'm really sorry that I'm old and I revoke history, but this has been seen before. Silence the fucking dissenters, you know? Yeah, side chat. Okay, side chat. I need somebody in side chat to bring me a plate with some moist melon and some tacos.
There's a
Moist. Ooh.
Actually, I think Jenny was trying to say something before, but I also want to say there's a reason why I think comedians like Steve Hofstetter, hope I pronounced that name correctly, and Cliff Cash are, and even Colbert and South Park are great right now, because this is the most effective tool. Make these people look like the fools they are. Show Trump as a weak, ineffective moron, because he is.
I agree with you on that one, Sinister.
I agree 100%. However, we know from, since 2016, we know that doesn't work.
It works slowly, but it can't be the only thing.
It's very limited. You can't put any great comedy routine up against an army.
This is correct. That's a nice, Jenny. That was a nice one.
It's a tool to change their minds when they realize, like, hey,
I used to
guy's
always
funny and he's making us look like buffoons.
Back in the olden days, I used to always believe that comedy, because I'm British, so we have a long history of just taking the piss out of,
I'm not saying it's the only.
We're very good at that.
We need to make sure these people lose power. We need to make sure people understand why Donald Trump was such a bad choice. And when you denigrate education, which was happening long before Trump in this country, because the right wing doesn't want educated people, you wind up with people who don't have the skills necessary to think about the consequences of their actions, or even look up what tariffs are before they vote for them.
Completely correct. Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead, Jenny.
I've run into so many people in the TikTok anti-trans panels where these people come in and say all these things. All they do is they spout their hate, and nobody's asking questions. Nobody's trying to be educated. They're just trying to have a stage to shout out terrible things and to hurt people. Yeah. Every once in a while, you get somebody who actually is open to talking and to learning. And I cannot tell you how many times I've run into people who say, "Well, yeah, I voted for Trump, but I didn't know it meant this stuff too." But it was all out there. If you would have taken 5 minutes to go and look, you would have seen that all of these voices had been speaking about this all along, and that you just did not do your job as a voter, as an informed voter. Education can be the answer, but only to people who are willing to listen.
Well, they probably thought they were educated on this, and they're just listening to the wrong sources.
Oh, agreed. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, being in filter bubbles is another thing we need to address, but that's going to take people telling us tech. I mean, one of the reasons why I chose the moniker mad computer scientist is computer scientists really have done mad science with their work. Essentially, they haven't had to think about what their work can do because it hasn't impacted society as a whole. That's no longer the case, and we now have to worry about things like ethics of how these search engine algorithms work, misuse of statistical models, because there are a lot of statistical models we misuse, like sentencing. There's a statistical model that was used for sentencing, which was never meant to be used for that. Not to mention, a lot of these statistical models are black boxes. We don't know how they work. They're not released to the public to let mathematicians and statisticians, people who know how these things are supposed to work and are capable of examining biases into these things, to criticize them and say, hey, this should be changed.
So what's the statistics on this?
What word would that be, Nage?
There's a book called Weapons of Math Destruction, which you can read to like get the idea of an actual statistician complaining about this. I think the author is Karen Levi.
I think the important thing to remember, and yes, Jenny, are you pooing?
No, I'm sorry. It took a long time
Just
to pee.
checking you're still with us.
My panties are stuck.
Blast from the past.
After our eyes glazed over. It's okay.
Jenny, blast from the past. I'm going to do a Springer's final thought. You okay?
Sure.
Okay. I think we are all not necessarily stupid people. The 6 people in this stream are not morons. I genuinely believe that. Yeah, I'll make an exception for Red Shirt Guy. By the way, you're wearing a red shirt, so you know you're going to die. Just saying. And this is why I enjoy playing with Perps and Jenny, and Mage, and now Red Shirt Guy, who's going to fucking die. Oh, it was nice knowing you, Red Shirt Guy, because you get it. You understand the fucking how real life works, you understand the nuances, and you're not team A or team B. You can fucking see the reality of the situation. And it's a very bad situation. None of us can fix that situation. We just can't.
Actually, there is a way the fascists said you could stop fascism early. No one's going to like it, but they said use violence. They said violence was the only thing that could have stopped them.
Well, we did violence famously. I'm invoking history now. We did stop fascism in, very famous. Look up Cable Street. Look up Oswald Mosley. The British people have a fucking strong history of thwarting that kind of shit. Anywho, history, boring. Nobody cares. But as long as you can recognize the difference between truth and bullshit, if you can see the truth, then you're my friend. If you believe in bullshit, I don't want anything to do with you. That's how I roll.
Well, that's the problem in America, is they've spent so many decades now, since the Reagan era, of dumbing down education, making people stupid, is that they are so easily duped. All of this just unfolds naturally. It's all people are capable of now, is to just be stupid things that don't listen, don't learn, and trust whatever thing that satisfies their inner hatred.
The problem is we also live in 2 different realities judged by our curated news. Like in the past, we only had like a few people curate news. Now it's like all our news is curated to each of us individually, based on what these algorithms, which we shouldn't be using, think we want to see.
But mainstream curated news has definitely lost its way and is only interested in sensationalism, ratings, and whatever the people at Paramount say they should be interested in.
As much as I hate to say it, sensationalism has been a problem in journalism long before.
Oh yeah, and it was called yellow journalism and all that stuff. But it's gotten worse, significantly worse.
I mean, there's a reason why that's one of the next things you learn about after like how you learn people aren't unbiased.
I mean, if something I've noticed that's gone down in the last 10 years or so is that mainstream news has finally gotten a handle on the fact that they are in touch with everything that happens across the entire planet. And so now one of their lead-in stories on, say, ABC Evening News is a house that exploded in Belton Temple, Texas. You know, like, okay, yes, those things happen and it was reported locally, but why do we care about that on a national level? Isn't there something more important to be talking about?
That's could be a slow news day, but I'm sure you've also heard the saying, if it leads, it leads. Or if it leads,
Yeah, there's
it
no
leads.
slow news days in international news.
I would disagree with that.
Well, you're bigger.
Honestly, I think if they're showing a house explosion in Texas, they probably didn't have a lot to put on the air. And we're looking for something sensational to draw the viewers in. But
There are actually human beings now in this fucking reality that we live in on the Twitters. And if somebody makes a comment or posts a link from a reputable news organization, what you'll see, I hate Twitter, what you'll see is all the blue tick bankers saying, Grok, is this true?
Yeah.
okay. You know what my response to that has become? At Grok, why shouldn't people use you as a fact-checking tool?
Yeah, it's good. That's actually a good one
Yeah.
to do. It will tell you it's not good for fact checking. You should check it.
I mean, these people do not understand.
Does that not scare you?
Well,
It terrifies me.
Most of the blue check marks on Twitter are either MAGA morons or Russian bots.
Yeah, well, you're kind of correct.
Not all of them, most of them.
They're engagement farmers, and a lot of them are from India and Pakistan.
Not in America.
Not in America, no.
Most
What's
of them
the famous
MAGA
guy
morons or Russian
called
bots.
Ian Miles Chung? Is that his name?
He's someone I've had blocked for a long time on Twitter because people chuckling was like, this guy's a moron. Why do you keep retweeting him?
Yeah, he lives in Malaysia, but he's no offense to people in the side chat, he has brown skin, but he perpetuates and spreads the racist shit.
Yeah.
And we're not happy with that. Twitter is a cesspit. Also, just for the record, Reddit is now a cesspit. And yes, laugh at me, I prefer Reddit to Twitter.
Twitter and Reddit have always been those things.
Well, if you're interested, he asked Brock, should you be used as a fact checker? I don't know if you're interested in knowing what it said or not. But
I have no idea what you just said.
Well, I mean, if you say, why shouldn't you be used as a fact checker, it might come up with a different response than why should you. Just
yeah, that's probably true.
Obviously, not obviously. I'm not a fan of AI. You know, it has its uses, but it's mostly bad.
Oh, I think AI is great. I think a lot of people misunderstand it.
No. I agree with you. On paper, it's very good. And it can do some really fucking wonderful things. But it's being misused.
Well, it's being
certainly by people like Elmo on the Twitter.
Yeah,
we can all remember, can we not, a few months ago when Grok was perpetuating the bullshit about white genocide in South Africa and all that shite.
The first racist tweet Elon made, not the second one where it started calling itself Mecha Hitler.
Oh yeah, Mecha Hitler. So do you get what I'm saying?
That was the rollout of Grok 4.
One of the things we need to change is people need to stop viewing CEOs as experts in this field. Elon Musk is not a tech expert.
No, he's not a fucking tech expert. He's a fucking moron. He's the dumbest person on this planet. Don't get me started. Boys, do not get me started on this one. I will blow your pants off.
CEOs do not have...
Worse than now?
Most CEOs do not have engineering degrees. They have business degrees. They do not understand the technologies they're promoting. They're just trying to pump you up about it. Or they've heard like, oh yeah, AI can replace people, so we're going to run down this without thinking it's like, hey, maybe it's not such a good idea to do this, or maybe this technology just isn't there yet.
It's the same dynamic as Trump trying to manage anything beyond his penis.
Well,
he's just totally incompetent.
I'm going to assume that you... Purple, are you still alive?
Purple? Nope, I guess not.
I thought I heard snoring there.
Okay, that's going to make it hard to end the stream.
I think I've broken Purple.
No, I can end the stream if she can't.
Okay, well, that was in bad taste. anything actually did happen as well. So
I think that you should just let Purple wake up to find out they're all alone and oops.
Walking up drunk in a field.
speaking of
Well,
sex,
if we go another half hour, I am going to have to get going here.
well, I'm going to have to get going because tonight's my gaming night.
Oh,
And
fine.
apparently we are
Purple
still
wrecked
playing
it.
tonight, even though half our people are in India at Gen Con.
So, AI, in theory, yay. In practice, nay. It's doing some bad things.
Yeah, and in my experience, I've found that if you
you're alive.
Yeah,
I thought I'd killed everybody.
no,
you
just
killed
Porpoise.
Purple.
Well, yeah, Porpoise and Purple are dead, but the rest of us are still here. I've found that if you ask a question and the answer to the question is actually out there, then AI is useful for doing that. But if you're after a specific answer and that answer is incorrect, then AI will scrounge the relevant websites to cobble together a correct looking answer.
Correct, yeah. I mean, there are different versions of the AI that people use. Don't use Grok. Just don't use Grok. It's fucking bullshit. What's the one that I like? I can't even fucking remember because I don't use AI because I'm a grown up. I'm literally a grown up.
Yeah.
I don't need to pretend to have a pretend friend. I don't need to do that.
I do.
Yes, we know you do.
One thing I've been using AI for is I've been creating all these lists of animals and traffic levels, and I've been putting them into an HTML table. So I've just been asking the AI here, alphabetize this into this table for me. And
there you go. There you go. That's
really?
That's something that would take me maybe about an hour or so to do by hand by myself. So and it does it in like 10 seconds.
Legitimate use to use this.
That's neat. I've never heard of anybody actually using AI for something useful.
Oh, I've used it for useful things. It can do useful things. But my point that I'm trying to make, and I'm failing very badly at getting this point across, is that don't fucking ask it to. Don't say, is this true? Or believe it. Just don't do that.
Yeah.
Sumami, I would love to have you teach me about AI.
As Mage just
if you
demonstrated, if you can use it as a tool that actually does the job that you want it to do, yay, go for that.
Yeah, as for information gathering, it's good as a jumping off point. So you give it take the information it gives you, and then go search that. That's a good way of using it.
Yeah.
Do you remember in the old Mage? Do you remember in the old
kind of like using Wikipedia?
In the olden days, we used to Google.
Yeah.
That's
kind of how I use it with it. If I need to use it for information sort of thing, I take what it gives and I do a Google search on what it gives me.
In the old days, we used a dictionary, an encyclopedia, and a card catalog.
Oh, I do like card catalogs.
Don't you? I love the Dewey Decimal System. Oh,
the card catalog has
brilliance.
the advantage.
Oh, she's back.
I'm getting so aroused right now.
Gets a hard on for Dewey Decimal. Oh, wow.
The card catalog has the advantage that it still works even when your power goes out.
Oh, hello. Good morning, Purple.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I did doze off for a little bit there.
That's another one of those
sleep.
Should we end this or?
No, we're kind of having
fun.
Actually,
I meant to wrap this up around 5 o'clock because I figured I would need to go take a nap.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
If you're tired, then wind the stream up. However, you could keep it going in the secret dark shadows of offline. Just saying.
Yeah, well, like I said, I dozed off there for a little while. I'm not sure quite how long.
Yeah, you've got a really good snore there.
Well, if
Oh,
you're meant to wrap this up about 5, then you've been out for about an hour and a half.
So that means you got to go another 23 and a half hours.
Yeah, well, no,
keep in mind,
I know
Purple
I was
is
talking.
in Central Time.
Yeah. Yep, I'm in Minnesota too, so we're the same time zone as Chicago.
This is a Minnesota panel.
Just going to do another thing for the old people. About a week or two ago, it was the 40th anniversary of. Jenny, I'm talking to the old people. It was the 40th anniversary of Live Aid.
Oh.
Fun fact for you. 20 years after that, do you remember what happened? No, of course you don't.
Well, lots of things happened. I don't know what you're referring to.
There you go. But if it was a popular thing, you'd know. The point I'm making is that people don't remember things. Even important things. It all fades into the history.
Canada is officially recognizing Palestine as an independent state.
In September.
They didn't give me details.
Well,
it was just a quick headline.
Canada is recognizing Palestine, even though they've been sending weapons to Israel.
I'm not here to talk about the politics. I just read the headline. Okay.
Let's not go down that avenue because
I'm just confused because the headline that I read like night before last was about Canada continuing to send weapons, even though they said they wouldn't.
I don't want to do this.
Yeah, let's wrap this up here though, so I can.
Oh, yay, sure. So you stuff it in the ground, and now we got to end it. Fine.
Yeah. Why do you? What?
You must be not embarrassed. I am deeply embarrassed that I fell asleep in my own stream. Okay.
Well, why we were boring you? Of course you would fall asleep. That was
to
our
be fair,
plan.
your snoring noises were splendid.
Did I speak German this time?
No.
9.
Yeah. My late fiance insisted that I spoke German in my sleep.
No,
I don't know where that would have come from.
Didn't hear a single word.
I have questions.
Just kind of a soft.
I've got questions. When you say insisted, do you mean she insisted that actually happened, or do you mean she insisted that you must do it?
No, she said that it just happened, that sometimes when I was talking in my sleep, she said I was speaking German.
It was kind of a BDSM thing.
No. That was separate. She didn't do that when I was asleep.
Yeah, Purple. I think Mr. Gingrich here was doing a word play on different senses of the word insist.
Yes, I got that.
Purple, can we keep the red shirt guy? I know he's going to die soon. I get it. He's going to die.
Yeah, we're keeping him.
Don't call anybody.
He is welcome in here every week.
Red shirt guy, it's been really nice to know you.
I appreciate that, Stool.
I'm not going to say I love you because that would be weird, but just be careful.
What?
Go on.
Okay.
Look out for the
we'll go around and do our wrap up here. Unfinished Journey, do you have any last words on anything?
Let's see. Jenny always says, be gay, do crimes. I'm just going to say, Be yourself.
But
Same
now I
thing.
can't say it. You said it. I can't say it now. That would be duplicitous.
Okay. In reference to a thing that Jenny usually says, my alternative to that is be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have to be me. There's no one else who's qualified for the position.
You're literally doing what he asks you to do.
Okay, Jenny.
No, I'm last.
Well, no, you usually say that as I'm hitting the button to go off. So.
Oh, we want something different, more detailed, actually informational or
Well, just
interesting.
if you
I have
if you
nothing to
have
say
any
in that
thoughts
respect.
on a subject that we covered, that you wanted to say.
Okay, this is all Ronald Reagan's fault. All you got to do is look at the history and find out.
Mm-hmm.
I will agree with that. Reagan started this mess.
And Thatcher.
Mage.
Yeah.
What about you? What you got coming up on your channel?
Sunday show at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll be doing my usual live stream on Mage's Media Musings. I'll probably do a few makeups from stuff I missed last week. I'm still trying to get some opinions on my whole timeless island. And
Mage, did you move your mic or something? You're not sounding as clear as you usually do.
how do I sound good? Do I sound good
Yep.
now?
That's
Much better.
Yes.
That's weird. All I did was tap the mic.
Maybe you
Rose
got
table,
loose
maybe?
connection there or something.
Maybe.
You sounded like you were kind of talking from the other side of the room a moment ago.
Oh, that's weird.
Sounded like
Yeah.
It sounded like you were wearing your underpants on your head.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, you sound like Charlie
Oh,
Brown's
I
teacher.
do that.
Yes, we
know.
Wah, 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 wah.
Well, I hope I don't have to go and buy myself another headset now. Shit. Okay, well,
No,
if I'm
I
sounding
wanted-
good
I
now,
wanted-
Yeah, so what did you say you're doing on your Sunday show?
on Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, on Mage's Media Musings, I'll probably be doing a makeup up on some of the stuff I overlooked last week. I'd like to still get more feedback on my Timeless Island project. If anybody would be interested in me integrating that into the show, with putting up polls, see what species they would like to have added to the island.
Well, obviously for me, you need to have some ceratopsins, and I would throw in a couple of ankylosaurs.
Well, I did come across a nice miniature ceratopsian that was looking at the adding.
Yep. Well, and ankylosaurs, I mean, like, who doesn't love a biological tank?
Don't know about those. I'll have to consider that.
A biological what?
Tank.
A biological tank.
It is a tropical, subtropical island, so I have to keep in mind.
Yeah, this sounds creepy and weird.
Well, it's not really that new of an idea. I mean, you can see a lot of it in like the Lost World, Mysterious Island kind of thing. But the thing that I'm doing is I'm actually creating a pseudo plausible little ecosystem for the whole thing.
And
I
that
wish I
was-
had control over this stream, because at this point I would slowly fade out Mage and say to Jenny, "What the fuck is he talking about?"
I don't know,
Well-
but that wasn't particularly gross. You want to hear gross? I'm sorry. I apologize. It took me so long to go pee earlier. My panties were stuck.
Ugh.
Are they stuck on your head?
Okay.
I'm not saying.
They're stuck on my head.
Mage, just for good measure, you should probably litter some trilobites around.
Yeah, I was looking at that. Oh, it's made up of the species are made up of animals from in life, from in the past, the present, and speculative future.
Well, if we have an all-out nuclear war, the only animals that'll be left on land in the future will be spiders and cockroaches. Sorry, did I completely deflate things, sir?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
You
and
got this.
as for her journey here, turns out his real name is Sean Bean. He's 2 weeks away from retirement. He's going to be taking the USS Titanic to Aldron to go skydiving with his pal Wade.
Exactly.
Is that your...
Yep.
Exactly. I have no idea what Mace just said, but you just said exactly. Okay, I'm really worried.
Well, as soon as
He-
they
he
said
made
2
up a
weeks
bunch
from
of stuff about
retirement,
me.
I knew that where that was going.
Purple, I'm not used to the new ways, so break it gently to me. I'm not scared, or I'm okay with spoilers. When does Red Shirt Guy die?
Anytime in that
That's why
in that
Mitch was
thing.
saying he was only 2 weeks from retirement.
At the end of my unfinished journey.
Oh. So Thursday.
And ruining my lines.
I mean, yeah, okay, people, you just gotta chill because I've got Lego sets older than you.
Challenge accepted. Anywho.
I'm ready for my new substitute closing line since
Okay.
Journey destroyed
I think-
my other one.
All right,
Okay.
well, yep, I don't have anything going on except I will see all of you back here the same time next week.
Won't be seeing me.
But next week will be a new month, so I haven't figured out, what
Okay.
what things we might have going.
It'll be August.
Yes, it will be August.
And remember, everyone, are you ready on the button? Purple?
Okay, so with
Okay.
all of that, we bid you goodbye.
Goodbye,
Here
Red
goes the
Shirt
button.
Man.
And remember,
It was
everyone,
nice
love-
to meet you.
Shut up, Stool. And remember, everyone, love your neighbor, and just not in the middle of the street.